It's Big Band Weekend on KAAT, Oakhurst, Fresno, FM 103.1.
Hey fans, it's now time for Fresno Grizzly baseball. Catch the fun all season long right here on KAAT 103.1 The One. Now let's head to the ballpark for the Miller Lite pregame show with the voice of the Grizzlies, Doug Greenwald.
And a happy Easter, everybody. Welcome to Fresno Grizzlies baseball. I'm Doug Greenwald, coming to you live this afternoon. We are at Franklin Covey Field here in Salt Lake City, Utah, getting set for action, the visiting Fresno Grizzlies and the hometown Salt Lake Stingers. Game 4 of this 4-game series, the final contest of this 4-game series. So far, it's been dominated by the home team, the Salt Lake Stingers. Winners here last night with a bases-loaded walk in the bottom of the 9th inning by a score of 5-4. So the Grizzlies' only hope is to salvage just one game of this set, and they will try and do so today by sending to the mound the highly touted left-hander Noah Lowry, making his first start of 2004. He'll be opposed by the Salt Lake right-hander, equally as touted Chris Buchek. On this gorgeous day for baseball, 60 degrees here on Easter Sunday. Skies are clear, and that postcard-like setting of the Wasatch snow-capped mountains behind the center field wall. So the ball game here this afternoon, and then after the game today, we leave to go to Yuma, where we will be for 4 games starting tomorrow night. But the Grizzlies and Stingers wrap up the first series of 2004 in a few moments. Oh man, who is now in his 3rd year as manager of Salt Lake, but certainly no stranger to the Anaheim Angels organization, is their skipper Mike Brumley. Man that was a utility infielder in the major leagues for about 10 years. Came up with the Chicago Cubs in the same class of Greg Maddux, Rafael Palmeiro, and that group coming up through Iowa when it was then a member of the American Association. And we had a chance to talk to Mike Brumley about those days, what it was like to be teammates in the minor leagues with a Greg Maddux and a Palmeiro, and if he thought at the time those two would go on to Hall of Fame-like careers at the big league level. We'll play that interview for you when we get back on the Miller Lite pregame show on 103.1 The One.
Get ready for another test. Yeah, we know you've had enough tests to last a lifetime, but this one's actually kind of fun. It's the Miller Taste Challenge. Just order a Miller Genuine Draft and a Budweiser. Then see them, smell them, and taste them. First, take a look at the color. Miller Genuine Draft is a rich golden hue. Now for smell. Don't worry, you don't have to swirl it around like some kind of wine snob. Just take a whiff. You're looking for a nice malty aroma. Finally, the most important part, take a sip. We don't need to tell you what to look for when it comes to tasting a beer. It ought to taste smooth with a full balanced flavor. In other words, Miller Genuine Draft. So that's it, the whole test. We think you'll prefer Miller Genuine Draft, the beer with genuine flavor that's cold filtered smooth. But don't take our word for it. Try the test and see for yourself. Because at Miller, we believe there's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller. Good call. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Fresno Grizzlies baseball. Happy Easter, everybody, as the Fresno Grizzlies and the Salt Lake Stingers get set for action. Game 4 of this 4-game series, and we're joined by the manager of the Salt Lake Stingers, Mike Brumley. And Mike, so far we're only 3 games into the season. You're 3-0, and it seems like you have found 3 different ways to win so far.
Well, right now, we've started off good. We got some breaks in this series, obviously, but we've been executing pretty well, which goes along with winning. So, you're going to hit streaks good and bad where things go your way, seems like every game, and all of a sudden you're going to get like you guys are dealing with right now, where it doesn't seem you can catch a break, to get out of an inning or something. But those things are always going to turn. You take the good and the bad, and just it's a long season, and just try to stay positive, try to stay pretty even keel.
As you know, being a minor league manager, there's so much turnover year to year, but I look at your squad, and there's a lot of guys back from last year. Really a testament to the major league club, because that ball club is so good. It's keeping some of these guys down here. One of them, for example, is Rob Quinlan.
Well, Rob's here. We have, I think, 14 guys who have made an appearance here. We had guys like Peralta pitched 1 inning here, Bergman pitched 1 inning here, so we got some guys that are, so probably basically we have about 10 or 12, but, we have some guys back, and the things that we did in off-season, in Anaheim obviously affected our club a little bit as far as some guys that had some real solid years. But, you look at Devannon is established himself up there. Higgins has established himself. Kevin Gregg, guys that were here last year are now gone. So, our system's working good, and, and our organization's committed to winning.
Another
man that's going to be up there. I know all of you guys have high hopes from Bobby Jenks. Pitched very well the other night after allowing 4 runs early in the game, but settled down. How does he look this spring?
Bobby had a good solid spring. I mean, he's he's battling his command and stuff like that. And I was real impressed with what he did the other night. I mean, 9 punch outs, 1 walk. They got to him early. You got to get some balls hard off of him the first couple innings. Then he kind of settled down and kept us right in the ball game, give us a chance to win. And so I thought that was a real positive outing for him.
You spent about 8 years in the major leagues, coming up with the Chicago Cubs in the mid-'80s, and had a chance to be teammates in Iowa with both Greg Maddux and Rafael Palmeiro. And did you know, or could you sense at the time that those guys are going to turn out to be the major leaguers they have been?
Yeah, Palmeiro and I got called up at the same time, and Maddux and Moyer and those guys we were all in that system. Damon Berryhill. I mean, you can name Gary Varsho. There's a lot of great players, but I think Maddux went 10-1, I think, and I think the one game he got beat was probably Denver, and it was a close game. But no, you could tell there's something special about those guys, and Palmeiro just being such a pure hitter. I mean, you could tell those guys were going to be great players.
A year later, you ended up hitting your first major league home run. Take us through that at bat against Ron Darling.
I mean, obviously it's always a big moment, those first in anything you do over there, and Sutcliffe was throwing, and it was I think we were down. I want to say we were down 3-1, and I hit a high fastball, just swung hard and found something, But big throw ball went in the bullpen at Shea Stadium, and it was a big game. I think Lee Smith came in and closed it out. And at that time, we were in the pennant race. I think we were 3.5 back behind the Mets, during that time of the season. And it was a sold-out crowd for 4 nights, 62,000, so loud you couldn't even hear yourself think. But a lot of fun, and some great memories.
And finally, Mike, your father, also Mike Brumley, played the major leagues with the Washington Senators in the mid-'60s. Most people don't really remember the second tier of Washington Senators that went on to become the Texas Rangers, but what stories does your dad have from that time?
Dad was part of the regime that moved to Texas. I think the first group moved to Minnesota, and Frank Howard, what happened, Gil Hodges was the manager. I mean, Gil was manager at that time, and they sent a bunch of Dodgers over there. I mean, Zimmer went over there, and Claude Osteen went over there. Frank Howard went over there. I think Tim McMullen. There was a whole group of guys that were Dodgers farm guys that had some time with the Dodgers in the big leagues that kind of went over there to kind of set Gil up. And Dad's got great stories. I have a lot of fun going with him, especially alumni type dinners and meeting a lot of the guys that I knew off the cards.
All right, Mike. Well, as always, we appreciate your time, and best of luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Salt Lake Singers manager Mike Brumley. Back with more on the pregame in a moment.
All righty.
Emergency hotline, can I help you?
Hello? Yes, I need help.
All right, sir, what's the problem?
I can't taste my beer.
You can't taste your beer.
No, and it's really freaking me out.
Okay, calm down, sir.
I take a sip, I feel it in my mouth. It's wet, but there's no taste. Nothing.
Okay, sir, listen to me. Sir, stay with me. What's your name?
Robert.
Okay, Robert, this is what I want you to do. Put the bottle down and step away from the beer. Go ahead.
Okay, I did it.
Now I want you to leave the house immediately, walk straight down to the corner store and pick up a 6-pack of Miller Lite. Robert, are you listening?
Yes.
Open one, take a sip, and everything should be right back to normal.
Okay.
Don't worry, Robert. We've seen this problem before. It's going to be all right.
Next time, try the light beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less filling, Miller Lite. Miller. Good call. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Special thanks to Salt Lake Singers manager Mike Brumley for joining us on the Miller Lite pregame show. Miller Lite, good call. Beautiful afternoon on this Easter Sunday here in northern Utah after some chilly nights we have had here, but most importantly this time of year we have been getting the games in, which is not always a guarantee in northern Utah in April. So again, thank you to Mike Brumley for joining us. Now it's time to take a look at the Supercuts starting lineups. Supercuts, the innovator of quality, affordable haircuts, is now offering quality, affordable color services for the whole family. Add some highlights to your hair at Supercuts. For the Fresno Grizzlies, manager Fred Stanley has scribbled in the following lineup. Leading off at third base is Brian Dallimore. Jamie Athos gets the call at shortstop. He hits second. Todd Linden's in right field, batting third. Damon Miner is the designated hitter, batting cleanup. Francisco Santos plays first base, hits fifth. Adam Chabala's in left field, batting sixth. At second base, batting sixth is, let me correct one thing, Chabala is batting, Chabala is batting sixth. David Doster batting seventh is at second base. Craig Kuzmic hits eighth, he does the catching. And batting ninth in center field is Jason Ellison. Noah Lowry on the mound this afternoon for the Fresno Grizzlies. Again, Dallimore, Athos, Linden, Miner, Santos, Chabala, Doster, Kuzmic, Ellison, and Lowry on the mound. For the Salt Lake Stingers and manager Mike Brumley, his Easter Sunday lineup looks like this. At shortstop, Alfredo Amezaga, he leads off. Barry Wesson plays center field, he hits second. Batting third at the first base, Rob Quinlan. The cleanup batter is left fielder Adam Riggs. Alex Polias bats fifth, he plays third base. Wilbert Nieves hits sixth, he does the catching. Derek Gibson is in right field, batting seventh. Jake Thrower hits eighth, he is the designated hitter. Batting ninth at second base, Brian Specht. On the mound this afternoon, having just completed his warm-up tosses in the Salt Lake right field bullpen, is the right-hander Chris Bootcheck. Amezaga, Wesson, Quinlan, Riggs, Polias, Nieves, Gibson, Thrower, Specht, with Bootcheck on the mound. Your Supercuts starting lineup. Supercuts, the innovator of quality, affordable haircuts, is now offering quality, affordable colored services for the whole family. Add some highlights to your hair at Supercuts. Okay, just about to get underway here in Salt Lake on this Easter Sunday. And then tomorrow after the game tonight, today we head to Yuma, where we will be at Desert Sun Stadium for 4 days. And then the home opener coming up April 16th at Grizzly Stadium, a 7:05 start against the Salt Lake Stingers. And there will be fireworks after the game, sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. Tickets are still available, so contact the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Look around the Pacific Coast League from last night. Oklahoma and Omaha played a doubleheader. The two split. Oklahoma won game 1 9-2. Omaha took game 2 6-4. Colorado Springs remains undefeated in the early season. They beat Nashville 4-2. Memphis topped Albuquerque by a score of 7-3. The Redbirds are undefeated. Tucson doubled up Tacoma 8-4. New Orleans handed Iowa its first loss 1-0. It was Edmonton 5, Sacramento 3, and Portland beat Las Vegas 7-6. A look around the PCL. The matchups today around the PCL all the same as last night. Albuquerque's at Memphis, Sacramento at Edmonton, Tacoma at Tucson, Oklahoma at Omaha, Colorado Springs at Nashville, Albuquerque at Memphis, which I've already mentioned. Tacoma is at Tucson, and Portland at Las Vegas. We'll take one last break for the anthem and back to start this one this afternoon on KAAT 103.1, The One.
The pregame show was sponsored by Miller Lite. Miller Lite, good call. Coming up next, we're heading to the ballpark for exciting Fresno Grizzlies baseball. Looking for a great place to celebrate your birthday or team party? The Wildwood Pool and Spa at Grizzly Stadium is the place to be. Also great for bachelor parties, businesses, and family functions. The Wildwood Pool and Spa can accommodate any group from 25 to 50 people in size. Your pool admission includes a catered poolside meal, a unique way to watch Grizzlies take on the competition for all the great price of just $30 per person. Summer dates are filling fast, so cool off in the Fresno heat by calling 442-1994 to secure a spot by the pool today. And now, fans, get ready for exciting Pacific Coast League action. Fresno Grizzlies baseball is on the air. This broadcast is sponsored by Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. The Fresno Bee since 1922. The Central Valley's leading newspaper. Subway, Eat Fresh. Community Medical Center. Carl's Jr. Yellow Book USA. His Magazine. Supercuts. Human Services Center. The County of Fresno Use Oil. Now, with all the action, here's the voice of the Grizzlies, Doug Greenwald.
want to remind all of you that we are going to start an 8-game homestand coming up on Friday, April 16th. I already talked about opening night. That'll be 7:05 against Salt Lake. Fireworks sponsored by Napa Auto Parts after the game. But throughout the rest of the weekend, it's going to be a lot of fun as well. Jerome Williams bobblehead all night for the first 2,500. That'll be Saturday the 17th. That's sponsored by Mervin's. And then Sunday at 2:05 start against Salt Lake. 10,000 magnetic schedules will be given away. Sponsored by Frazee Paint. It will also be Fresno Bee Family Day. So a lot happening on the opening weekend. And then to conclude the series against Salt Lake, it'll be a business person special Monday Madness sponsored by Carl's Jr. at 12:05. The Monday Madness presented by David Sunflower Seeds includes 2 field level seats, 2 hot dogs, 2 sodas, and 2 bags of David Sunflower Seeds for just $12. And that will occur just about every Monday except for the special July 5th night. That'll be a fireworks night, and we'll talk more about that obviously as the season moves along. The Salt Lake Stingers have taken the field. We will take a look at them defensively. From left to right, Adam Riggs, Barry Wesson, and Derek Gibson. From third to first, Alex Polias. The shortstop is Alfredo Amezuga. Ryan Speck plays second base. Rob Quinlan is at first. And the battery consists of the catcher, Wilbert Nieves, and this afternoon starting pitcher, the right-hander, Chris Bootcheck. Bootcheck. Former number 1 pick by Anaheim back in 2000. A brief call-up last year by the Angels in September, getting in 4 ball games. So Bootcheck on the hill today. A couple of number 1 picks going out of this afternoon. Bootcheck for Salt Lake, and Noah Lowry, who was taken as one of the several number 1 picks the Giants had in 2001, will go in the bottom half of this inning. Ryan Dallimore, Jamie Athos, and Todd Linden here on this gorgeous Sunday afternoon in Salt Lake City. Temperature about 60 degrees. Just a perfect day to come on out and watch the AAA affiliate of the Anaheim Angels and the AAA affiliate of the San Francisco Giants. Dallimore to start it off, 5 for his first 12 here in 2004. A .417 clip, facing the product of Auburn University and Chris Bootcheck, who is out of the lineup from the middle of the rubber. And the first pitch of the game to Dallimore is lifted high in the air in the right field. Gibson over near the line, and he makes a one-handed catch, crossing into foul territory for the first out of this afternoon's ball game. It was ruled a fair ball, but nevertheless, Dallimore is out. The umpire still has to rule if it is fair or foul, even if the ball is caught. But Gibson making the catch in the fair territory and then across the foul line. Well, one down, and here's the shortstop, Jamie Athos, left-handed batter. And Chris Bootcheck's pitch. Athos takes down the middle for a strike, 0-1. Mark Winters, the crew chief, calls balls and strikes. Scott Latinder at first base. Sean Rakos is the umpire at third. 0-1 the count. Bootcheck comes right back, and Athos looks outside, 1-1. Jamie 2 for his first 6 and his first ever stint at AAA. Scored the tying run on the top of the 9th inning last night as a pinch runner for Francisco Santos. The 1-1 swing and a chopper to first. Quinlan backhands it around his shoe tops, and he'll hustle to the bag. Gets Athos for the unassisted putout, 2 down. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Todd Linden. Millett Carl's Jr., the low-carb breakfast bowl with eggs, cheese, bacon, sausage, ham, and only 5 grams of carbs. Now only at Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. Offer available at participating locations. Well, here is Todd Linden, who drove home at us with the tying run last night, 2 out of the top of the 9th. Linden 5 for his first 12. Switch hitter bats left-handed, and Bootcheck's pitch, fastball low to Todd. A ball, no strikes. Steve Decker is the third base coach and hitting instructor for the Fresno Grizzlies. Fred Stanley managing from the dugout today. Nathan Haynes, outfielder, coaching over at first. Linden swings and a little looper out in the shallow center field. The shortstop Amezuga goes out, but he can't get it. And the ball falls in front of the center fielder, Barry Wesson, for the game's first hit. So Todd Linden is aboard. And he has hit safely in the first 4 games of 2004, and that'll extend the inning for the designated hitter, Damon Miner. Damon a 2-run homer here on Friday night. So far 2 for his first 12. 0 for 4 last night with a walk. Linden good speed at first base, being held on by Quinlan. And the Stringers put on that shift against Miner. Infield swung well around to the right as he takes low inside from Buchek. A ball, no strikes. Buchek's fastball tops out in the mid-90s. We'll also mix in a curveball, a slider, and a changeup. Pitched last season here at Salt Lake. And again, like Bobby Jenks the other night, one of the top pitchers in the Angels organization. He comes back with a breaking ball that is in the dirt to Miner. 2 balls, no strikes. Mentioned Buchek went to Auburn but grew up in LaPorte, Indiana. And it's been part of 2002 here and just about all of last season with the Stingers. 2 balls, no strikes. Linden a small lead at first as Quinlan holds him on. Buchek to the plate and a fastball to Miner, and he looks at the knees for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. With the first baseman, Francisco Santos, running on deck. Just underway here in Salt Lake. Glad you can join us on this Easter Sunday. Fresno nothing, Salt Lake yet to bat. Buchek 8 wins, 9 losses here a season ago. Linden from first, and Miner swings on a dry foul right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. One of those typical Damon Miner foul balls, a long drive out toward right field, but he hooked it. 2-2. 345 down the left field line. 420 straightaway center. 315 down the right field line here at Franklin Covey Field. Ballpark that's been up since 1994. 8-foot fence all the way around. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Linden from first base. Buchek to the plate. And Miner looks low inside, and the count runs full now. Well, Linden will be off automatically on this 3-2 count. And the first baseman, Quinlan, well aware of that, will back up and give Linden a head start. In the infield, swung way around to the right side. Polias, third baseman, almost playing at the shortstop spot. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Linden takes off, and Damon Miner swings and a comebacker snagged by Buchek. He'll run it 3/4 of the way at first. Underhands it to Quinlan, and the Grizzlies are done in the first inning. No runs a hit, they leave one, and after half an inning on this Easter Sunday from northern Utah, Fresno nothing, Salt Lake. Coming up by KAAT 103.1, The One.
So last week, Jimmy got his hair colored. Hair colored? Jimmy? Isn't that a little, expensive? That's what I thought. But Jimmy says Supercuts colors hair now, so it's completely affordable. Well, I was leaning more towards, isn't that kind of like, risky? That's what I thought. But Jimmy says Supercuts stylists are trained in hair coloring, so they're not going to mess it up.
Well, that's great information, but I mean, isn't coloring your hair considered somewhat, like,
Permanent? That's what I thought. But Jimmy says Supercuts can do it so it'll last till it grows out, or till it gradually fades out. And he says the ladies love it.
oh, but tell us, ladies love it?
That's what Jimmy says.
Hey, didn't we pass the Supercuts back over the waist?
I think so.
Hair coloring at Supercuts. You know how it is. Supercolor available at select locations.
Time for a change? Try Supercuts' new service, Supercolor. Whether it's highlights, tips, or an all-out glazing, Supercolor is a quick, affordable way for both men and women to show their true colors. Call your local Supercuts to see if Supercolor has arrived.
Opening night at downtown Grizzly Stadium is fast approaching. Get your tickets now for April 16th. The Grizzlies host the Salt Lake Stingers. First pitch 7:05. Make sure to stay for the Napa Auto Parts fireworks show after the game. For more information, contact the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Grizzlies baseball. There is nothing minor about it.
On the mound this afternoon for the Fresno Grizzlies is left-hander Noah Lowry. He makes his first start of 2004. Left-hander who was one of the several number 1 picks by the Giants back in 2001. Lowry drafted out of Pepperdine and grew up in Ojai, California, which is also on the Southern California coast. And he'll face Alfredo Amezia, Barry Wesson, and Rob Quinlan here in the bottom half of the first inning. Fresno failed to score in the top half. So Salt Lake trying to get on the board here, sending the switch hitting Amaziga to the plate. 2 hits in his first 12 at-bats. And Lowry, the left-hander, out of the windup. His first pitch, fastball, strike one called on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Lowry was called up last hit of last year to the San Francisco Giants. Left-handers 0-1 on the way, swinging a dry foul by Amaziga. Quickly 0-2. But spent most of last season at Double-A Norwich with the Navigators, where he went 9-6 with an ERA at 4.72 in 23 appearances. The left-hander's 0-2 on the way, and Amaziga swings and pops this one up out in shallow center field, and it's the second baseman Doster who cuts in front of the center fielder Ellison to put it away. One down here in the bottom of the first inning, and that'll bring up the center fielder Barry Wesson. Mentioned that most of the pitchers here in this series and in the early going of 2004 are limited to 75 pitches. Lowry only scheduled to go 50 pitches today because he did not pitch very much in spring training with the Major League club. So here is Wesson, right-handed batter, and Lowry comes in with a fastball outside, 1-0. Pitched only 11 in the third innings in spring training, so he is coming along a little slower than the others. The 1-0 on the way, and the fastball foul to the backstop. 1-1 the count. So Lowry goes today, and then Kevin Pickford will round out the rotation. He'll start tomorrow night in Yuma. 0-0, bottom of the first. Wesson won for his first 8. Lowry kicks and delivers, swing and a comebacker. Lowry to the third base side of the mound, fields it, and he throws out. Wesson first, 2 away. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Rob Quinlan. Hey, Grizzlies fans, have you heard? Your neighborhood Subway restaurants have delicious salads, like the new Atkins Friendly Grilled Chicken and Baby Spinach, or the classic Club Salad. And Subway's salads are made fresh right in front of you. So head to a greater Fresno area Subway restaurant today. Subway, eat fresh. Here's Quinlan, right-handed batter. Noah Lowry delivers, and Rob takes low inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Quinlan 7 for his first 12. The homer and already 5 RBIs, including one last night. A bases-loaded walk to win the game in the 9th. Lowry kicks and delivers. Quinlan well out in front of a changeup, swings and misses. 1-1. Lowry will throw that changeup. Fastball tops out in the low 90s. Very good control. Outfield medium depth around to the left for Quinlan. That's where his power goes. The 1-1. Big swing and a chopper up along third. That is foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mike Brumley, our pregame guest, is the third base coach and manager for Salt Lake. And over at first base, sitting instructor Jim Eppert. 0-0. Home half of the first inning. Sparse crowd here at Franklin Covey Field, a facility that seats 15,500. Lowry from the third base side of the rubber, now to the plate, and the fastball up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Last night, an announced crowd of 3,894. Lowry working quickly. He kicks and now delivers, and Quinlan stays alive. Swings and rips one foul right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Last night, a small crowd because of the Utah Jazz playing just up the block. But no excuse not to be out here on this gorgeous Easter Sunday. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lowry again out of the windup. Comes to the plate. Quinlan looks up and in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. With the left fielder, Adam Riggs, wetting on deck. Fresno with the batting practice black shirts today. 3-2 on the way. Quinlan takes high and away. That is ball 4. So he is the first Salt Lake base runner this afternoon. That extends the inning for Riggs. Fresno in the black shirts. Fresno spelled across the front in white. Fresno wearing the black hats and the purple letter F, gray pants. Salt Lake in the home whites, button-down shirts. Stingers spelled across the front, red letters, and royal blue trim. Here is Riggs, right-handed batter, takes high from Lowry. 1 ball, no strikes. Adam 4 for his first 11. Riggs last night was 4 for 4. There was a scoring change in the game last night. Originally was credited with a sacrifice, but they changed it to an infield hit after the ball game. He looks at a fastball outside, 2-0 the count. Had an RBI triple and a run scored in the 6th. Also scored a run on the 4th of last evening's game. Quinlan the runner at first base in this 0-0 contest. Rob has yet to steal a base this year, but has good speed, being held on by Santos. Lowry to the belt. Now he kicks and delivers, and a fastball misses way high. 3-0, and the catcher Craig Kuzmic out to talk to Lowry, wearing long black sleeves underneath that black shirt of his. Grizzlies will make another trip to Salt Lake. That'll be at the end of May, the 28th through the 31st. And Salt Lake will make 2 trips to Fresno next week, and then early June. Quinlan at first base. Now Lowry kicks and delivers, and a fastball high and away, ball 4. After getting the first 2 batters with ease, he walks Quinlan and now Riggs. And that extends the inning for the third baseman, Alex Polias, who did not play last night, but came up with the game-winning hit on Friday night in that 5-run bottom of the 9th for the Stingers. A chance to get the Stingers on the board here with Quinlan at second and Riggs at first. Outfield around to the left for Polias. Holds the bat right on the end, and Lowry sidestep delivery. Fastball taken for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count, with the catcher Wilbur Nieves on deck. Salt Lake will have 4 more games here at home on this current stand. Sacramento comes to town tomorrow night. No balls, 1 strike. Lowry to the plate. Polias looks up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Slight breeze with the wind blowing out toward left. The American flag situated high atop the pole beyond the grass berm in left field over near the playland area. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big lead for Quinlan at second. Big lead at first for Riggs. And Lowry's 1-1 to the plate, swinging a foul ball right side by Polias. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mitch and Lowry got a call to the big leagues at the end of last year, but sandwiched between Double-A and the major leagues. Pitched a handful of games for Fresno, 4 to be exact, where he was 1-0 with an ERA at just 2.37 in 19 innings, where he earned the PCL Pitcher of the Week. His first week in a Grizzly uniform. Had an outstanding Triple-A debut, going 7 1/3 innings, striking out 8 in a win against Tucson. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. And Lowry kicks and delivers. Polias chops one towards second. Doster to his left. The second baseman up with it, throws out Polias to end the first inning. No runs, and the Stingers leave 2. We go to the second from Utah. Fresno nothing, Salt Lake nothing on KAAT 103.1. The one for the sounds of Sinatra.
What's my Subway salad? Well, it's hard for a farmer man to choose. Yes, my goat friend, the new Atkins Friendly grilled chicken and baby spinach is my favorite, with grilled chicken strips and tasty toppers on a bed of 100% baby spinach. It's Atkins Friendly. So's the classic club salad made fresh under my sniffer. Too bad Atkins ain't for goats. What's your language? My Subway salad? Any of the new Subway fresh salads. It's what I eat when I want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
The Fresno Grizzlies have a full lineup in store for you opening weekend. On Saturday, 7:05, it'll be Jerome Williams bobblehead night for the first 2,500 fans, sponsored by Mervyn. The weekend is capped on Sunday, a 2:05 matinee. The first 10,000 fans will receive Crazy Paint Fresno Grizzlies magnetic schedules. Tickets are still on sale for all 3 games. Call the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Grizzlies baseball, there is nothing minor about it.
This is John Bisney, CNN Radio News. Thanks for keeping your radio tuned to the Mountain Cat during these trying times. We'll do our best to keep you informed of current news from around the world, the nation, and California. If you'll give us a few minutes at the top of each hour, we'll keep you informed and up to date. And in the event of critical news, we'll break in with the latest information that affects you. Depend on CNN News and KAAT Radio, the Mountain Cat.
We head to the top of the second inning in Salt Lake here this afternoon. Fresno nothing, Salt Lake nothing. Doug Greenwald with you on KAAT 103.1. The one. Francisco Santos, Adam Shabala, David Doster, 5-6-7. So look at right-hander Chris Buchek. A scoreless first inning, and now the right-hander out of the windup. And his pitch to Santos is up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Santos last night drew a walk in the 9th inning and then was removed for a pinch runner. 1-0 on the way, and he takes high. 2 balls, no strikes. It was that 2-out walk in the 9th, and then Jamie Athos came in a pinch run, and he eventually scored on the Todd Linden single to tie the game. 2 balls, no strikes. Buchek kicks and delivers. Santos swings, rips one off the mound, but the flex right to the shortstop. Amezaga moving to his left, throws on one hop to Quinlan, and Santos is out. And what a bizarre play that was. Santos ripped that ball right off the pitcher's mound. Amezaga, moving to his left, grabbed it back to second base, threw on one hop to Quinlan. And Santos is retired for the first out on the top of the second inning. That'll bring up the left fielder, Adam Shabala. I talked about this the other night. In fact, it was Shabala who hit into that double play, started by Amezaga. Buchek to the plate, and Shabala bunts one foul third base side, 0-1. I saw Amezaga play 3 years ago at AA Arkansas, and then last year in Salt Lake, and in the infancy of this season. And he is one of the most fun players I have ever seen at the minor league level. No balls, 1 strike, and Shabala looks low inside, 1-1. He is just a fun player to watch. Very, very good shortstop. The 1-1 on the way, and the fastball is low outside. 2-1. Adam 0 for his first 4 in 2004, getting his first crack at AAA. 2 balls and a strike, and he swings, rips this one back a second and through into center field, and he has his first AAA hit for the former University of Nebraska Cornhusker in Shabala. He is aboard. Second hit for the Grizzlies in the contest, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Dave Doster. Take the Miller Genuine Draft taste test against Budweiser and see, smell, and taste the difference. At Miller, we believe that there is good enough and better than it has to be. Miller, good call. So here is Doster, right-handed batter. 1 hit in his first 8 trips to the plate. The runner at first base is Shabala. Good speed, being held on by Quinlan. Infield a double play down as Buchek from the middle of the rubber delivers a fastball for a strike on the outside corner to Doster. No balls, 1 strike. I mentioned earlier that Steve Decker is coaching at third base today. Normally we see the manager, Fred Stanley, down there. But with the Grizzlies 0-3, they decided to switch it up and go with the hitting coach, in Decker, over at third. No balls, 1 strike. Buchek comes home. Doster a big swing and a tapper foul back to the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. So they did last year. And the opposite of what happened last year is happening this year. Last season, the Grizzlies got off to a 3-0 start. This year, they're 0-3. I was talking to manager Fred Stanley about that before the game. No balls, 2 strikes. Shabala lead at first. Pretty good size lead. And the pitch to Doster ripped foul right side. And the count remains at 0-2. Last year, they got off to the 3-0 start, finished with the league's worst record. Maybe this year, with an 0-3 start, they finished with the league's best record. No balls, 2 strikes the count, with the switch-hitting catcher Craig Kuzmic on deck. Big hole on the right side of the infield as the second baseman Specht is shading the bag. Shabala from first draws the attention of Buchek, and now a throw over, and Adam back safely with a dive. Buchek last year with the Anaheim club was 0-1. Made his first start against the A's and did not fare very well, lasting just 3 1/3 innings against Oakland. No balls, 2 strikes, and again a throw to first. Shabala back safely with a dive. In that game at the Coliseum, it was September 9th, allowed 8 runs, all earned on 7 hits and 3 1/3 while walking 3. No balls, 2 strikes to count. 0-0, top of the second. Buchek to the belt. Now he kicks and delivers, and a breaking ball low outside to Oster. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But the Angels have a lot to look forward to. We've talked about how good that pitching rotation is, and Anaheim went out and got Bartolo Colon and Calvi Escobar from other ball clubs, but still have a lot to offer in the minor leagues with Buchek and Bobby Jenks, Steve Green. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and again Doster pokes this one foul right side. Count holds at 1-2. Irvin Santana, also in the system, very highly touted. And the Angels off to a good start in the early part of 2004. Mike Brumley, the manager, talked about that on the pregame show. That the major league team is stacked, and the minor league organization also a lot of talent. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big hole out in the left center field. Lead at first base by Shabala. Quinlan holds him on. The 1-2 pitch. Doster a big swing and a tapper to third. Pelias up with it. Thought about going to second. Instead goes to first to get Doster. Second out here in the second inning. Shabala down to second base, and that'll bring up the catcher Craig Kuzmic. Pelias thought about going to second base and then saw Shabala was going to make it safely and did the right thing and went to first base to at least get 1 out. So 2 out, man at second, 0-0, Fresno and Salt Lake. Here is the catcher Craig Kuzmic, his first action of 2004, and who went to big league camp for the first time in his career. Switch hitter batting left-handed, facing the right-hander Buchek, who comes set. Lead at second base by Shabala. And the right-hander comes to the plate, and Kuzmic looks at strike 1 on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Kuzmic was acquired in a trade last year, minor league deal from the Seattle Mariners. This spring got into 23 games with the Giants. Had 11 hits, including a home run and 4 RBIs. Played his college baseball at Texas A&M. Lead at second by Shabala. No balls and a strike with 2 out. Buchek will look back at second. Now he kicks and delivers on a fastball. And Kuzmic looks at strike 2 on the outside corner, 0-2. So with Noah Lowry pitching today and Kuzmic in the ball game, the only Grizzly who is yet to see action this year is Kevin Pickford, and he'll pitch tomorrow night in Yuma. No balls, 2 strikes. Shabala from second. Kuzmic laid at a fastball, rips one foul left side. No balls, 2 strikes. The center fielder Jason Ellison waiting on deck. Kuzmic's a guy that can play pretty much anywhere in the pretty much anywhere in the infield. Can play second, third base, can play some shortstop, but will serve mostly as the backup catcher to Trey Lunsford. No balls, 2 strikes, and Kuzmic swings and just gets a piece of it, fouls into the backstop. 0-2 the count. And after the game, we leave. They head to Yuma. We'll fly from Salt Lake to San Diego and then bus about 3 hours through the Southern California desert. Those of you unfamiliar with Yuma, it is right on the Arizona-California border. No balls, 2 strikes. And Kuzmic takes up an M. 1-2 the count. Buchek, 6'5", 200 pounds. He'll be 26 in October. Mitchell grew up in Indiana but now lives in Phoenix. Lead at second by Shabala. The 1-2 on the way to Kuzmic. Craig takes inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Buchek played for Mike Brumley in 2001 at Arkansas. So Mike knows him quite well. Mitchell Brumley in his 3rd year as manager here in Salt Lake. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 0-0. We're in the top of the second inning. Well, if every day could be like this, what a gorgeous day for baseball here in the great Salt Lake. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Buchek to the plate. Kuzmic looks, and that is low and in. And he misses 3-2. Buchek was ahead at 0-2. Now falls behind 3-2. Jason Ellison waiting on deck. Craig's a guy that can hit the ball to all fields. So the outfield plays him straight away, not terribly deep. Shabala, big lead at second. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Payoff pitch. Kuzmic shattered bat. Swinging a fly ball into right field. There to make the catch is Gibson. And on the top of the second, is over. Grizzlies do not score in the second. No runs to hit. They leave one, and after 1.5 from Salt Lake City, Fresno nothing, Salt Lake nothing on KAAT 103.1, The One.
Hey, Grizzly fans, make sure you get the most complete Grizzlies coverage by subscribing daily to the Fresno Bee, and we'll cap it off with a cap. If you are a baseball fan, you won't want to miss the Bee's in-depth stories, columns, and box scores that appear every day in the Bee. In addition to the complete coverage of your hometown AAA team, you will also receive all the top local news, entertainment, and advertisements. Call today to subscribe to the Bee for 3 months. Mention this ad, and we will send you a free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap. Call 411-6233 or 1-800-877-3400 to subscribe and receive your free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap today.
Welcome to Hank's Kitchen, the cooking show for guys. Today's breakfast, leftover pizza. Step 1, open the fridge. Step 2, pull out the pizza box from last week. But try not to knock over that half-empty can of beer. You're going to need that later. Step 3, look at the pizza. Is it shrunken, dehydrated, and curled up like a witch's boot? If so, you might need to use the microwave. Now, sometimes the pizza is beyond resuscitation. To test it, tap it against a table. If it makes this noise, just go to Carl's Jr. instead for a low-carb breakfast bowl. There's eggs, cheese, sausage, ham, bacon, and it's all in a bowl. As for the pizza, have it later with that half-empty beer. Just pretend it's a really big cracker.
The low-carb breakfast bowl with only 5 grams of carbs. New at Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. Price and participation may vary.
Fresno and Salt Lake, nothing on this Sunday afternoon from northern Utah. Doug Greenwald with you on KAT 103.1, The One. Every Thursday at Grizzly Stadium, it's going to be Thirsty Thursday. Enjoy 12-ounce Miller products and 12-ounce Coca-Cola products for only $1. That's every Thursday home game. Our first Thursday home game will be April 22nd, 7:05 start against Edmonton. So we start the bottom of the second inning. And leading it off will be Wilbert Nieves for Salt Lake. He'll be followed by Derek Gibson and Jake Thrower. 6, 7, and 8 to face the left-hander Noah Lowry. And his first pitch to Nieves, foul to the backstop. No balls, 1 strike. Nieves did not play last night. So far, 2 for his first 7, but both hits have been rather significant. No balls and a strike. Lowry comes right back, and Nieves takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-2. Opening night, he led off the bottom of the second inning with a home run. And the night after, led off the 9th inning with a single that led to that 5-run comeback. 1-1 on the way, he looks outside. Let me correct the count. It said 1 ball and 2 strikes to Wilbert Nieves. Lowry comes right back, and Nieves swings and hits one foul right side. And the count remains at 1-2. Talking about Noah Lowry, went to Pepperdine, same school that produced a Cy Young Award winner, Mike Scott, back in 1986. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lowry from the third base side of the rubber. Now delivers. Nieves swings with a fly ball to the left. Going back for Chabala, and that ball is over his head, and that's going to go all the way to the wall. Nieves is on his way to second base, and he opens the second with a double. Looked like Chabala was fooled by the ball. Took a wrong route to get to it. It looked to be a catchable ball, but he circled in, and the ball went past him all the way to the left field fence. So a good start for the Stingers here in the home half of the second. Leadoff man aboard. And here is the right fielder, Derek Gibson, who played here on opening night. Got a couple of hits. Was 1 for 3. Right-handed batter with a wide-open stance. Played at second base by Nieves. And Lowry to the plate, and Gibson takes, and that is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Talking about Gibson, who at one time was one of the big prospects in the Colorado Rockies organization, really all of baseball, and never developed the way the Rockies had hoped. Lowry's 1-0 pitch, and Gibson takes low inside. 2 balls, no strikes. He spent the last 2 years playing in the independent leagues, last year in the Atlantic League at Long Island, and 2 years ago at Duluth of the Northern League. Last season, 19 homers playing for the Long Island Ducks, a club that is run by Bud Harrelson, the former Mets infielder and Mets manager. But Gibson, a brief stint in the major leagues with the Colorado Rockies. Nieves from second base, a good-sized lead, the 2-0. Gibson swings and fouls one back over the roof. 2 balls, 1 strike. But Gibson returns to the Pacific Coast League for the first time since 2001. But he's well familiar with this league, having spent time at Colorado Springs, Calgary, and Tucson. And still pretty young, 29 years old. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nieves from second base. And Lowry sidestep delivery. Gibson pops this one up. Back at first. Santos, the first baseman, drifting back now into shallow right, and he makes the catch in fair territory. 1 down. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Jake Thrower. Trust the Fresno Bee for complete coverage of the Grizzlies, top local news, entertainment, and advertisements. The Fresno Bee. Now here is Jake Thrower, who got into the ball game last night. It was 0 for 4 with a walk. It was his first appearance in 2004. Lead at second base by Nieves, and the pitch to Thrower, swing and a foul to the backstop. No balls, 1 strike. Mitch and Lowry grew up in Ojai, California, Ojai, right along the California coast near Ventura, and then stayed near home to go to Pepperdine, which is in Malibu. And I've never been to Malibu, but I have been told that Pepperdine campus is one of the prettiest in the United States. No balls, 1 strike. He delivers and a fastball taken for a strike on the outside corner by Thrower. 0-2. As it's been described by people who have gone to school there, you open your windows in the morning and there's the ocean staring you in the face. No balls, 2 strikes to count with Brian Speck, the second baseman, on deck. Fresno and Salt Lake, 0-0, home half of the second inning. Nieves, the runner at second base. Gallimore back of the bag, just off the line at third. And the 0-2 pitch, fastball up and away to Thrower. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Lowry only supposed to go about 50 pitches today. One ball, 2 strikes to count. Nieves will lead at second base. And Lowry is set. They'll look back at second. Now he kicks and throws, swinging a ground ball past the mound, but the second baseman, Doster, to his right, comes up with it, and he throws to first to get Thrower 2 down. Nieves scampers to third. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Brian Speck. Speck, right-handed batter, who started all 4 games of this series, was 0 for 4 last night. Let me be more specific. He is a switch hitter, but batting right-handed against the left-hander in Lowry. A 0-0 ball game, home half of the second inning. Nieves, the runner at third. Now Lowry to the plate, and Speck swings and pops this one up. Back of the plate, and that will reach the seats. About 6 rows up and bounces from the front row all the way up into the second deck here at Franklin Covey Field. No balls and a strike. You have 3 levels of seats here at the ballpark. You have the section downstairs, the mezzanine level, and you have the second deck, and then the suite level. All one on the way is up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. And let me correct that. The concourse level, I should say, for the first level of seats, and then the second deck or the upper deck, and then the suite levels, and that is where I'm located, up here in the suite area. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lowry to the plate, and Speck takes, and that is a strike on the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I can very easily see the snow-capped mountains on this Sunday afternoon here in early April. Nieves from third. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Speck swings and rips one foul to the screen right side. 1-2 the count. Lowry pitched in the Arizona Fall League back in October and November for the Grand Canyon Club, one that shares Scottsdale Stadium with the Scottsdale Scorpions. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nieves from third, and Speck swings and fouls another one off right side. Count holds at 1-2. But the year Lowry was drafted, 2001, Giants had 3 first-round picks that year. Brad Hennessy, right-handed pitcher, and Todd Linden were the other 2 first-rounders. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and a fastball is taken high to Speck. 2-2 the count. And that's one thing that the Giants have been able to do throughout the years, gather a lot of top-round picks. Because when you don't re-sign a free agent, you might lose that player, but you get an additional first-round pick to rebuild the system. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and a fastball ripped past the shortstop, Athelsson in the left field, a base hit. Nieves will score standing up, and the Stingers are on the board first, 1-0 Salt Lake. Now Lowry loses Speck with 2 out and 2 strikes, and for Brian Speck, that is his 3rd run, batted in 2004. So 1-0 Stingers, and now for the second time this afternoon, Salt Lake will go to the top of its order for the shortstop, Alfredo Amezuga. He popped to second base back in the first inning. A run, 2 hits, no errors for the Stingers, no runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Grizzlies. Now here's Alfredo. Switch hitter batting right-handed, and Lowry will throw to first, and Speck back safely standing up. Speck is yet to attempt a steal here in 2004. So a 1-0 lead for Salt Lake. Speck does have good speed, and a fastball from Lowry, and Amezuga swings and misses. 0-1 the count. Speck last year at AA Arkansas, 12 steals. The most he's ever swiped was 25. That was in 2000 at Lake Elsinore, which was formerly the Angel Single-A ball club in the California League, but it's now at Rancho Cucamonga. No balls and a strike. Speck at first. Santos holds him on, and Lowry kicks and throws. Amezuga swings, and it's one foul right side. And the count is a no balls and 2 strikes to Alfredo. Amezuga, a guy that played in the Mexican Fall League over the winter, and also was part of the Major League Futures team back in 2001. The Futures game pits an American team against a team of international players. No balls, 2 strikes, and a pitch out, and nothing happening. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that's the game that is played the Sunday before the Major League All-Star game, to give fans a glimpse of the future. It's the Futures game, but it is minor league players getting a chance to play at a Major League facility this year. It'll be in Houston at Minute Maid Park. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Lowry throw to first. Back safely standing up is Speck. Salt Lake 1, Fresno 0, bottom of the second. The Stingers trying to sweep this 4-game series. Something Fresno did to them about a year ago at this time. Fresno, its first road trip of 2003, resulted in a sweep for its first road series. The 1-2 to Alfredo, up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Speck looking across the diamond at his third base coach and manager Mike Brumley. Mike now makes his winter home in Tucson, where several managers call home in the wintertime. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lowry to the plate, and Amezuga looks at strike 3. A good bender right there, and he knew it. And that ends the second, but Salt Lake gets on the board, a run, 2 hits. They lead 1 after 2 from Northern Utah. It is now Salt Lake 1, Fresno 0 on KAT 103.1, The One. Community Medical Center is proud to give you all a place to bring your creaks, aches, pains, sprains, and groans. The new state-of-the-art Community Sports Center, conveniently located North Fresno, offers 12,000 square feet dedicated to fitness training and the latest outpatient rehabilitation therapies. Ask your doctor about the place that everybody needs, the Community Sports Center. In store for a hot, long summer in the Valley? Looking for somewhere that will quench your thirst? Then head to downtown Grizzlies Stadium for every home Thursday game. It'll be Thirsty Thursday. Enjoy 12-ounce Miller products and 12-ounce Coca-Cola products for just $1. That's right, just $1 for every Thursday home game. Grizzlies baseball. There's nothing minor about it.
Hi, this is Sid Mark with more of the April sounds of Frank Sinatra, and the legend continues. This week, it's Frank Sinatra and Tommy Dorsey, April 1940. Then on to Dinah Shore, April 1947, Neil Hefti, Swingin' Brass, April 1962, all of these goodies and a bunch in between. This week's Sounds of Sinatra. My name is Sid Mark, and you're invited.
Each Sunday evening on KAAT following Grizzlies baseball.
Salt Lake 1, Fresno nothing. We go to the top of the third inning on this Sunday afternoon, Easter Sunday. Glad you can join us for Fresno Grizzlies baseball. We'll be in action next Sunday at downtown Grizzlies Stadium. And that will be Magnetic Schedule Giveaway Day, sponsored by Crazy Paints for the first 10,000 fans. It's always been a big day. Magnetic schedules, those are real easy to hold on to. Just get home and slap them on the refrigerator or the office cabinet, and there you go. Here is Ellison to start it off. Right-handed batter, and Chris Buchek's first pitch to Jason Ellison is a strike called on the inside corner. No balls, one strike. Ellison, and in the top of the order for Dallimore and Athos, face Buchek, who has a lead to work with for the first time today. Polias even with the bag at third. And Buchek's pitch is a fastball low and away to Ellison, a ball and a strike. He did not play last night. He's still looking for his first hit of 2004, 0 for his first 5. Outfield medium depth and straightaway for Jason. Holds the bat right on the end. Buchek's 1-1, and Ellison takes up and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. We were talking before about Mike Brumley living in Tucson. Former Tucson manager Al Padrique is now up in the big leagues as a coach of the Diamondbacks. Lives there, and so does current Tucson manager Chip Hale. 2 balls, 1 strike, and a fastball was taken at the knees by Ellison, called strike 2, 2-2. But who could blame them, or all of the players that reside in the Phoenix Scottsdale area? Beautiful weather year-round. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Buchek to the plate. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Nothing Ellison could do there. Frozen with that one. And he is out for a strikeout for Buchek. 1 down. And now for the second time today, Fresno will go to the top of its order for the third baseman, Brian Dallimore. I say beautiful weather. Keep in mind, a lot of the players don't live there year-round. It does get pretty toasty in the summertime, but I'm speaking mostly from the October through March portion of the calendar. So here is Dallimore, and he looks at a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. He flied to right field back in the first inning. 1-0 Salt Lake. Visitors half of the third, and Buchek working quickly comes right back, and Brian swings and rips one over the head of the third baseman Polias on in the left field, a base hit for Brian Dallimore. Well, he has his first hit today, third for the Grizzlies. 1 on, 1 out, and that'll bring him to shortstop. Jamie Athos. Well, Dallimore has hit safely in his first 4 games of 2004. And now Athos digs in for the second time. He is 0 for 1. Handed out to the first baseman Quinlan unassisted. Back in the first inning. With Dallimore, the runner at first base. 1 steal on the year has not been caught. A small lead. Infield a double play depth. And Athos swings and misses at a high fastball. No balls, 1 strike. For the right fielder, Todd Linden, waiting on deck. Third baseman Polias, just back of the bag, but off the line. Shortstop Amezaga shading second, as is the second baseman Speck. Big hole on the right side of the infield. No balls and a strike, and Buchek to the plate. Athos takes strike 2 on the outside corner. Good fastball right there. 0-2 the count. Giants will play tonight at Petco Park. They've lost a couple of close games to San Diego in the first 2 contests of that series, which commenced on Thursday. No balls, 2 strikes. Buchek to the belt. Now he kicks and delivers, and Athos looks at a high fastball away. 1-2. Jake Peavy tonight for San Diego. Brett Tomko, the former Padre, goes for San Francisco. And Barry Bonds still sitting on Major League home run number 659. One more to tie Willie Mays for third all time behind Ruth and Aaron. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Buchek to the plate. Athos swings and a soft looper over the glove of the shortstop Amezaga out in the shallow left. Alomar will keep on going to third, where he'll slide in safely as the throw comes into second base from the left fielder Riggs. That ball was softly hit. If there's any such thing as a soft line drive, that was it. The ball was hit at Amezaga, and he just missed it. Alfredo, not the tallest of players, stands 5'10". Maybe if he's A-Rod size or Derek Jeter's size, shortstops who are over 6 feet, he gets to that one, but not the case. Now Athos is aboard. Dallimore to third. He is the tying run. Runners at the corners, and here is the right fielder, Todd Linden. Single to center field back in the first inning. Switch hitter bats left-handed. All right, 1-0 lead for Salt Lake, but the Grizzlies with their first real threat of the afternoon as Buchek comes home to Linden, who shows bunt, takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. So the Grizzlies now with 4 hits. They had 9 last night. I think they've had 9 the last 2 ball games, but nothing to show for it, having lost both, and overall having lost the first 3 here in the 2004 season. Dallimore at third, Athos at first. 1 ball, no strikes. Athos bluffs, and a check swing by Linden, dribbled foul third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, last night, the Giants had the bases loaded in the 9th inning with 2 outs, down by 2, but Trevor Hoffman struck out Michael Tucker to end the game with Barry Bonds in the on-deck circle. Now, the Giants, after winning their first 2 of 2004, have dropped their last 3. The getaway game in Houston and the first 2 in San Diego. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And a throw to first. And Athos back safely with a dive. Giants have their home opener tomorrow against Milwaukee. Matt Kinney will go for the Brewers, so he perhaps would give up on 660th home run. Athos 12 steals at Norwich last year, the most he's had in a season, 17. That was his first year of pro ball at Hagerstown. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners at the corners and a pitch out and nothing happening. 2 balls and a strike. Damon Miner waits on deck. Giants and Padres had the very unusual Friday off. Had a chance to see a little bit of that new ballpark in San Diego on television. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Big hole on the right side of the diamond. Buchek to the plate, swinging a line drive into center field. A base hit for Todd Linden. Dallimore will score standing up. Athos stops at second standing up. And the Grizzlies have tied this one at 1. And that is today's Carl's Jr. play of the game. Without us, some guys would starve. So Todd Linden now 2 for 2 this afternoon. Athos stops at second. Linden at first, and here is the designated hitter, Damon Miner. Todd with his 4th RBI of the young season. And here is Damon, who grounded back to the pitcher in the first inning. Fresno 1, Salt Lake 1. Visitors half of the 3rd. Fresno with runners at first and second, and the pitch to Miner, swing a towering fly ball, pretty well hits center field. Wesson drifts back. He'll have room in front of the warning track to make the catch. Athos tags from second. He is on his way to third. He'll stop there, standing up. Linden holds it first. And Miner retired for the second time today, now 0 for 2. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Francisco Santos. Getting back into ball games has not been the problem for the Grizzlies. It's been unable to finish the games, such as Friday night or last night after tying it in the 9th inning, only to come back and allow a run in the bottom half of the ninth. On the bases loaded walk to Quinlan. In fact, they talked about that with Rob before the ball game, and he told me he was ready to hack. Well, most guys would be 3-2 and 2 out with the bases loaded, but Lee Gardner's pitch was high and away, and Quinlan, noticing that right now as the ball left Gardner's hand, said ball 4, and that was it. So here is Santos, and he takes a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 the count. Francisco granted the shortstop back in the second inning. A run, 5 hits, no errors for Fresno. A run, 2 hits, no errors for Salt Lake. Adam Shabalo, the left fielder, waiting on deck. Athos at third. Linden at first. Outfield medium depth straight away. As Buchek is set. And the right-hander's pitch. Santos takes, and that is low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Major League Club with some news today announcing a transaction. Lance Niekro activated from the disabled list, and then was sent on paper to Fresno, but he was going to go rehab with the Arizona Summer League team, or let me correct that, with the extended spring training team in Arizona. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Santos swings and a ground ball to second base to his left. Speck throws out Santos, and that ends the third, but the Grizzlies tied up a run, 3 hits, 2 left after 2.5 from Salt Lake. Fresno and Salt Lake 1-1 on KAAT 103.1. The One.
Do you change your own oil and oil filter? If so, the city and county of Fresno would like to thank the do-it-yourselfer for recycling your used oil and filters. It's important to do the right thing. Did you know that oil never wears out? It only gets dirty. Used oil can be recycled over and over, helping to preserve our resources and environment. Dumping just 1 gallon of used motor oil in the drain or the ground contaminates up to 1 million gallons of water, and it's illegal. Do the right thing. Recycle your used motor oil and oil filters properly. It's easy. Just call 1-800-CLEAN-UP to locate the state-certified collection center near you. That's 1-800-CLEAN-UP, sponsored by the City and County of Fresno, funded by a grant from the California Integrated Waste Management Board.
Grizzlies mini ticket plans are now on sale. You can choose from a 12-game plan, which includes opening night, 5 giveaway nights, fireworks, and special appearances by the Philly Fanatics, Raiderettes, and Berserk. Or choose the All-Star 18-game plan, which gives you your choice of the day or days of the week which suit you best. That's right. You get to choose your plan. Contact the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Grizzlies baseball. There's nothing minor about it.
Hi, this is Mark with more of the April sounds of Frank Sinatra, and the legend continues. This week, it's Frank Sinatra and Tommy Dorsey, April 1940. Then on to Dinah Shore, April 1947, Neil Hefti, Swinging Grass, April 1962, all of these goodies and a bunch in between. This week's Sounds of Sinatra, my name is Sid Mark, and you're invited.
Each Sunday evening on KAAT following Grizzlies baseball.
Barry Wesson leads off the bottom of the third inning for Salt Lake. Fresno and Salt Lake 1-1. Doug Greenwald with you on KAAT 103.1. The One. Grizzlies tying this one up. The run on the top of the third. Wesson, Quinlan, and Riggs 2-3-4. Face the left-hander Noah Lowry, who has a strikeout. To his credit, here is Wesson, who swings and misses at a curve in the dirt. No balls, 1 strike. We're talking last inning about Lance Niekro being activated from the Major League Disabled list. Lance had been placed on the 15-day DL back on March 26th with a right ankle sprain. No balls and a strike, and Lowry to the plate. Wesson a pop-up foul right side. No balls, 2 strikes. Jeffrey Hammonds was activated from the DL. He had been suffering from a broken bone in his right thumb. No balls, 2 strikes the count. Wesson grounded back to Lowry in the first inning, and he takes inside 1-2. Now Hammond's off the DL, Niekro off the DL, but optioned to Fresno. But the Grizzlies won't have him for probably a week or so. Swing on a fly ball in the right field. Linden comes in a few steps, and he makes the catch, 1 down. That'll bring up first baseman Rob Quinlan. And then the Giants also designated pitcher Leo Estrella for assignment. Pitcher they had just acquired from the Milwaukee Brewers in a minor league deal. So if Estrella clears waivers and nobody else claims him, he could possibly be in a Grizzlies uniform soon. Here's Quinlan. He walked in the first inning, right-handed batter. 1-1, Fresno and Salt Lake. We're in the bottom of the third, and Quinlan chases a breaking ball down around his shoe tops for a strike. 0-1 the count. Last year, roughly 120 transactions the Grizzlies were involved in. Lowry comes back and misses with a curve. 1-1 the count. But the wheels will start soon enough with the transactions. A ball on the strike to count. Lowry to the plate, swinging a chopper to short. Athos a step to his left, up with it. Throws quickly to the first baseman Santos, and Quinlan is retired for the first time today. That'll bring up the left fielder, Adam Riggs. Check out Subway's fantastic 7 under 6 lineup. That's right, your greater Fresno area Subway restaurants have 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less, like the delicious honey mustard turkey with cucumber with just 4 grams of fat. Subway, eat fresh. Here's Riggs. And Lowry to the plate, swinging a chopper to second, a couple of hops to Doster, who grabs it held high, throws to first to get Riggs, and the Stingers for the first time today go in order. We go to the fourth. 1-1 ball game in Salt Lake on KAT 103.1. The one for CNN News.
Do you like great bargains? Enjoy online auctions? Check out B-Link, the Valley's largest local online auction. This is your chance to bid on hundreds of items from local retailers. First, log on to FresnoBee.com/B-Link. That's Fresno, BEE.com/BEELINK, and register anytime beginning April 12th for your chance to preview items up for bid. Check out the merchandise you're interested in at the store's location. Then, look for the product guide in your Fresno Bee starting Sunday, April 18th. But the real fun begins Tuesday, April 20th, when you start bidding. B-Link, the Fresno Bee's online auction. Bid online and save.
Welcome to Hank's Kitchen, the cooking show for guys. Today's breakfast, leftover pizza. Step 1, open the fridge. Step 2, pull out the pizza box from last week. But try not to knock over that half-empty can of beer. You're going to need that later. Step 3, look at the pizza. Is it shrunken, dehydrated, and curled up like a witch's boot? If so, you might need to use the microwave. Now, sometimes the pizza is beyond resuscitation. To test it, tap it against the table. If it makes this noise, just go to Carl's Jr. instead for a low-carb breakfast bowl. There's eggs, cheese, sausage, ham, bacon, and it's all in a bowl. As for the pizza, have it later with that half-empty beer. Just pretend it's a really big cracker.
The low-carb breakfast bowl with only 5 grams of carbs. New at Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. Price and participation may vary.
On to the fourth this afternoon from Salt Lake. Fresno and Salt Lake, a 1-1 ball game. Doug Greenwald with you on KAT 103.1. The one. A run, 5 hits, no errors for the Grizzlies. A run, 2 hits, no errors for the Stingers. Adam Shabala, David Doster, Craig Kuzmic, 6-7-8 to face the right-hander Chris Buchek. Adam singled the center back in the second. And Chris Buchek's first pitch, swinging a ground ball right back up the middle and past the diving second baseman Speck. A base hit for Adam Shabala. Well, he's 2 for 2 this afternoon. 6 hits now for the Grizzlies. Go ahead and run at first base, and that'll bring up the second baseman, David Doster. Right-handed batter. David 0 for 1 this afternoon as he grounded to third base back in the second inning. Shabala, the runner at first, being held on by Quinlan. Outfield medium depth straight away for Doster, who holds the bat right on the end. There goes Shabala. The pitch Doster swung on this. Throw to second base is not in time. And Shabala slides in safely. Throw is taken on the fly by the second baseman Speck. But Shabala, with good speed, able to swipe the bag. So he is at second base with nobody out. And the count to Doster is at 0-1. Shabala last year at Hagerstown, an early cricket at Norwich, stole 10 bases. No balls, 1 strike. Shabala at second base. Kuzmic waiting on deck. But Buchek to face Doster right here, delivers, and a fastball was taken at the letters for a strike. 0-2 the count. And those of you unfamiliar with the Giants minor league system, AAA Fresno, AA Norwich of the Eastern League, California League is San Jose, Low A ball, full season ball in the South Atlantic League, Hagerstown, Maryland, and the Rookie League in the Northwest League, Salem Kaiser, Oregon. Shabala from second, the 0-2 on the way. Doster swings and pokes one foul right side. No balls, 2 strikes. And the Giants also have a summer league team, the Arizona League. That will start up in mid-June. Commonly known as the Fire League, because they play in about 115-degree temperatures in some afternoons. No balls, 2 strikes. Fresno 1, Salt Lake 1, top of the 4th. Boot check to the belt. And the right-hander delivers, swinging a ground ball past the diving Polias in the left field, a base hit. Shabala, who had to wait for the ball to get to the left fielder, Riggs, hustles the third standing up. And David Doster has his first hit this afternoon. And that'll bring up the catcher, Craig Kuzmic. And the Grizzlies now with 7 hits. All have been singles. And now in position to take the lead with the catcher, Kuzmic, coming up. He is 0 for 1. He's flying to right field. Situation here that Craig doesn't need to get a hit to drive a run home. Would just like to get a fly ball deep enough or something past the pitcher. Salt Lake plays its infield at double play depth. Big hole on the right side with the first baseman Quinlan holding on Doster. Well, the runner at third is Shabala. It's a small lead in foul territory. Outfield median depth and straightaway, and Buchek kicks and delivers. Kuzmic swings, drives one out on the shallow right field, and that is going to fall in for a base hit. Shabala scores. Doster hustling the third. The throw from Gibson is offline. And Doster in at third. Kuzmic an RBI single. The Grizzlies have their first lead of the afternoon at 2-1 Fresno on Craig Kuzmic's first hit of 2004. Gibson's throw to third was short in front of the bag, and Polias a good job just to keep that ball in front of him. So 3 straight singles to open the top of the 4th inning for Fresno. With Craig Kuzmic, I mentioned an RBI. So runners at the corners again. And pitching coach Rich Bombard in his second year with Salt Lake, after spending several years with the Red Sox organization in the same capacity, has to talk to Buchek. Well, here is Ellison for the second time. He struck out looking back in the third. It's been the only strikeout for Buchek. 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Grizzlies. A run, 2 hits, no errors for the Stingers. Doster at third, Kuzmic at first. And now Ellison trying to get a fly ball deep enough. As Buchek kicks and delivers, and Ellison swings, grounds this one back up the middle center field, base hit. Doster scores. Kuzmic will take the turn at second, but stops there, and the Grizzlies lead it now 3-1. Jason Ellison had his first hit of 2004. 4 straight singles for Fresno to open the 4th inning. And now for the third time this afternoon, Fresno will go to the top of its order for the third baseman, Brian Dallimore. And it looks like Salt Lake is going to get action going in its right field bullpen. Ryan Jensen has been warning for some time for Fresno, and looks like he'll come in and pitch the bottom of this inning. The runners at first and second, now Dallimore showing bunt. Takes outside, throw back to second base, and a good catch by the shortstop of Maziga. That ball was thrown to the shortstop side of second base. By the catcher Wilbert Nieves, and Maziga had to reach across the bag to his right to keep that ball from going into center field. The count of Dallimore is at 0-1. So much opportunity here for Brian to at least get the runners up. Third baseman Polias on the lip of the grass. First baseman Quinlan also on the lip, both ready to charge. Kuzmic at second, Ellison at first, and the 0-1. Dallimore showing bunt, takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the Grizzlies run in the third, 2 here in the 4th. Last night, they had the bases loaded with a 1-run lead and nobody out, with 2 runs home in that 5th inning, and couldn't do anything after that. That kept Salt Lake in the game, and the Stingers were able to pull out the win. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Buchek to the plate. Dallimore taking all the way this time, looks outside. 2-1. With the shortstop, Jamie Athos on deck. Dallimore, a guy that is not called upon to bunt very often, but this is a situation that we could see it. 2 balls, 1 strike. Buchek to the plate. Dallimore again taking all the way, looks outside. 3-1 now. And Buchek a pitch away from loading the bases. There is action in the Salt Lake bullpen. Right-hander Steve Andrade warming up. We've yet to see him here in the 2004 season. 3 balls, 1 strike. Runners lead first and second. And the pitch, Dallimore takes. That is outside, ball 4, and that loads the bases. Kuzmic to third, Ellison the second, and Dallimore the first for the second time today. And here is Jamie Athos. Well, once again, a very, very important part of this ball game. We're only in the top of the 4th, but Fresno with a 2-run lead has to come away with at least another run right here, if not 2, with the bases loaded and nobody out. Imperative Athos at least get a run home here. Runners lead at every base. Buchek again to the belt. Now he kicks some throws, and Athos looks at strike 1 on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Athos single to left field, back in the 3rd. Grizzlies with 9 hits this afternoon. Looking for more right here. Runners at every base, and Athos swings and misses at a changeup. 0-2 the count with the right fielder Todd Linden waiting on deck. Third baseman Polias back of the bag off the line. Athos the guy that's known to bunt for a hit every now and then, but I don't think that will be the case with the bases loaded, especially with 2 strikes. 0-2 the count. And now Buchek backs off the rubber. And he gets right back up atop the rubber, works from the middle of it. Peering in at the catcher Nieves. Runner at third is Kuzmic, Ellison at second, Dallimore at first, all with small leads. No balls, 2 strikes, and Athos takes low and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Grizzlies 3, Salt Lake 1. Top of the 4th inning. Not even a cloud in the sky. What a gorgeous day here in the great Salt Lake. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Athos takes low and in from Buchek. 2-2. Could very easily be Buchek's last batter as Andrade continues to warm in the Salt Lake bullpen. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jamie Athos. Runners at every base on the pitch, and Jamie takes up and away. 3-2 now. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, and Buchek, who had Athos at 0-2, now has to come in with 1. Kuzmic at third, Ellison at second, Dallimore at first. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. And the payoff pitch, and Athos swings and misses at a breaking ball down and in for strike 3. Likely would have been ball 4, so Buchek helped out there. That's 1 out. And now it's up to Todd Linden to try and get something home. Second strikeout for Buchek. And lives to see another batter in Linden, who is 2 for 2 this afternoon. He has singled twice, and he has driven home a run. Fresno 3, Salt Lake 1. Linden switch here, batting left-handed. Buchek to the set position right at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers, and Linden swings and dribbles 1 foul first base side near the Salt Lake bullpen. No balls, 1 strike. In opening night, April 16th at downtown Grizzlies Stadium. Fireworks after the game. Tickets still available. Call 559-442-1994 for more information. That's the Grizzlies front office. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners lead at every base, and Buchek again set. And the right-hander to the plate. Linden swings a ground ball to first. Quinlan up with it. Is going to go to the shortstop. Amazica for one. Back to Buchek at first. Not in time. Linden barely beats it out. Buchek tumbled. And now Ellison will come around to score. Kuzmic scored. And then Ellison scored. And it looked like Buchek might have twisted his ankle, covering the bag. Good effort by Buchek to get over there. Salt Lake trying to turn the 3-6-1 double play. And Buchek bending down. The trainer, Adam Navala, out to check on him. I don't know if he twisted his ankle or what the problem is, but he stumbled across that bag. The first base umpire, Scott Latender, signaled safe. So that meant Kuzmic scored automatically. And then with Buchek just lying in the dirt, time was never called, and Ellison kept right around to score. Kept right around third base, and he ended up scoring the fifth Grizzlies run. So it's 5-1 now, Fresno. They've scored 4 runs here in the top of the fourth. And the seldom seen 2 RBI fielder's choice for Todd Linden. Now 3-6 on the fielder's choice. Linden now with 3 RBIs today. And Buchek is going to come out of this ball game. Dallimore forced at second, and Linden on at first. And that is all for Chris Buchek. So we have a pitching change. We are in the top of the fourth inning. Fresno 5, Salt Lake 1 on KAT 103.1. The one for Big Band Weekend.
Folks, the Grizzlies have fun waiting for you at the ballpark this season. Every Monday home game, it's Monday Madness, presented by David Sunflower Seeds. For just $12, you get 2 field level seeds, 2 hot dogs, 2 sodas, and 2 bags of David Sunflower Seeds. Offer excludes July 5th. For more information, call the Grizzlies at 559-442-1994. See you at the ballpark.
So last week, Jimmy got his hair color. Hair color? Jimmy? Isn't that a little, expensive? That's what I thought. But Jimmy says Supercuts colors hair now, so it's completely affordable. Well, I was meaning more towards, isn't that kind of like, risky? That's what I thought. But Jimmy says Supercuts stylists are trained in hair coloring, so they're not going to mess it up. Well, that's great information, but I mean, isn't coloring your hair considered somewhat, like, permanent? That's what I thought. But Jimmy says Supercuts can do it so it'll last till it grows out, or till it gradually fades out. And he says the ladies love it. Hold the telescope. Ladies love it? That's what Jimmy says. Hey, didn't we pass the Supercuts back to the waist? I think so.
Hair coloring at Supercuts. You know how it is. Supercolor available at select locations.
Time for a change? Try Supercuts' new service, Supercolor. Whether it's highlights, tips, or an all-out glazing, Supercolor is a quick, affordable way for both men and women to show their true colors. Call your local Supercuts to see if Supercolor has arrived.
Steve Andrade is the new Salt Lake pitcher. We're on the top of the fourth inning. Fresno has scored 4 times and leads at 5-1. Andrade's first appearance of 2004. This is his first ever AAA appearance. 5-1 last year at AA Arkansas in 36 games. He grew up in the same hometown as Tony Torcato, Woodland, California, just about 10 miles north of Sacramento. And the two know each other quite well. Now here is Minor with Todd Linden at first base, a 5-1 lead for the Fresno Grizzlies. Minor 0 for 2. He's grounded back to the pitcher and is fly to center field. Andrade, A-N-D-R-A-D-E. No stranger to the Central Valley. We mentioned grew up north of Sacramento and then played his college baseball at a school that one wouldn't think about when it comes to college baseball in the Valley. Cal State Stanislaus in Turlock, just south of Modesto. I'm sure he'll have plenty of friends and family at Grizzly Stadium next week when he plays in Fresno. Now here is Damon Minor, who swings at a curve from Andrade and misses. No balls, 1 strike. This is a guy in Andrade who tops out about 88 miles an hour. Almost looks like he throws a knuckleball. Very soft thrower. Linden at first base, being held on by Quinlan. Andrade works from the middle of the rubber. High set position now delivers, and Miner takes a strike on the inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. Andrade, 32nd round pick by the Angels back in 2001. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And his pitch, Miner swings and misses at a breaking ball, strike 3, and he is out. But the Grizzlies here in the 4th and 8 to the plate score 4 times on 4 hits, no errors, and they lead one after 3.5 from Salt Lake. Fresno 5, Salt Lake 1 on KAT 103.1. The one for Yosemite High football.
Get ready for another test. Yeah, we know you've had enough tests to last a lifetime, but this one's actually kind of fun. It's the Miller Taste Challenge. Just order a Miller Lite and a Bud Light. Then see them, smell them, and taste them. First, take a look at the color. Miller Lite has a rich golden hue. Now for smell. Don't worry, you don't have to swirl it around like some kind of wine snob. Just take a whiff. You're looking for a nice malty aroma. Finally, the most important part, take a sip. We don't need to tell you what to look for when it comes to tasting a beer. It ought to taste great, crisp, and never watered down. In other words, Miller Lite. And Miller Lite's got half the carbs of Bud Light and fewer calories. So that's it, the whole test. We think you'll prefer great tasting, less-filling Miller Lite. But don't take our word for it. Try the test and see for yourself. Because at Miller, we believe there's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller. Good call. Miller Lite contains 3.2 grams of carbs and 96 calories per pound. Bud Light contains 6.6 grams and 110 calories. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Looking for a great place to celebrate your birthday or team party? The Wildwood Pool and Spa at Grizzly Stadium is the place to be. Also great for bachelor parties, businesses, and family functions. The Wildwood Pool and Spa can accommodate any group from 25 to 50 people in size. Your pool admission includes a catered poolside meal, a unique way to watch Grizzlies take on the competition. For all the great price of just $30 per person. Summer dates are filling fast, so cool off in the Fresno heat by calling 442-1994 to secure a spot by the pool today.
All right. They go to the bottom of the 4th inning. They 5-1 lead for the Fresno Grizzlies. Doug Greenwald with you on KAT 103.1. The one. I have the new Fresno pitcher is right-hander Ryan Jensen. So both starters out of the ball game now. And Alex Polias to lead it off. Right-handed batter swings at Jensen's first pitch and fouls it to the backstop. 0-1. Well, Noah Lowry will get a no decision today, having gone just 3 innings, but that was as planned. Give play to the right-hander Jensen, who comes home, and Polias swings in a drive in the center field right at Ellison, who hardly has to move for it, and Jason is there to make the catch. 1 up, 1 down. And that'll bring up the catcher, Will Nieves. Jensen, 2 innings here the other night, allowing 3 hits and 1 run. That was opening night. So here is Wilbur Nieves, who doubled and scored back in the 2nd. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Fresno. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Salt Lake. And Ryan Jensen out of the windup comes home, and a fastball is low to Nieves. 1 ball, no strikes. Derek Gibson waiting on deck. Jensen, a guy who likes to work quickly, goes from the middle of the rubber, now comes home, and a fastball is low. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 balls, no strikes. And Jensen grew up here in the Salt Lake area. Now lives in the Phoenix area. And then played his college ball at Southern Utah. 2 balls, no strikes. He comes home with a fastball low. 3-0. And Ryan has spent time in Fresno every year of its existence. Fastball to Nieves is taken for a strike on the inside corner. 3-1. The Grizzlies franchise came into existence in '98, and Ryan has now spent parts of 7 years with the Grizzlies. It's 3-1 to Wilbert, and that is low outside. Ball 4. Well, he draws a walk. Second time he has been aboard, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Derek Gibson. Miller Lite, half the carbs of Bud Light. Now that's what you call great taste, less filling. Miller Lite, good call. Well, here is Gibson for the second time. He popped up the first base back in the second inning. 5-1 Fresno. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Nieves is the runner at first. Being held on by Santos. Infield a double play depth. And the pitch to Gibson, and that is taken low. 1 ball, no strikes. Talking about the Giants, who will open up officially tomorrow at home. They had 3 exhibition games at the ballpark formerly known as Pac Bell last weekend, playing the A's twice and the Rangers once. Jensen's 1-0 pitch to Gibson, and that is low. 2-0. But tomorrow, 1:05, they'll play Milwaukee. It's going to be a long homestand for the Giants, 10 games. The Brewers for 3, the Dodgers for 3, and the Padres for 4. So a very important early season homestand. Milwaukee, a team they should beat. But then the Padres and Dodgers coming up after that. The 2-0 to Gibson. Jensen misses. That is low. 3 balls, no strikes. So he went to 3 balls on Nieves, ended up blocking him, and now falls behind Gibson at 3-0. With the designated hitter, Jake Thrower, on deck. Outfield around to the left. Gibson, tremendous power to left field, and he takes way inside, almost hit him, and that is ball 4. So Nieves goes to second. Gibson to first. Back-to-back walks issued by Ryan Jensen. And here comes Fresno pitching coach Ross Grimsley. The Giants have a night game tonight in San Diego. I say a night game. It's a 5:05 start. But by the time they get home, it's probably going to be 2 o'clock in the morning. They're going to have to tee it up tomorrow at 1:05 in Milwaukee. They're not in Milwaukee, but at home against Milwaukee. Now here is Jake Thrower. I've never figured that out. Why a team accepts a schedule that has them in one city in the night game and then decides to go home the next and play a day game. Now here is Thrower, and he swings and fouls onto the screen, 0-1. You don't have control necessarily over what time the television networks tell you to start. You don't have control over what time the home team wants to start if you're the visiting team, but you do control what time you want to start at home. No balls, 1 strike. Jensen delivers and a breaking ball taken for a strike on the inside corner, 0-2. I'm all for opening day baseball. That's the way it should be, meaning opening day games. But I'm sure somebody must have looked at that to see, okay, we're playing a night game in San Diego and a day game in San Francisco the next day. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, Thrower swings, grounds one to short. Athos, a backhanded stab at it, goes to Doster at second for 1 on the first. A quick by Santos, double play. What an outstanding play by the shortstop, Athos, to start that inning ending 6-4-3 double play. Stingers turn back in the fourth, no runs, they leave 1, and after 4 from Salt Lake, Fresno 5, Salt Lake 1 on KAAT 103.1, the 1.
Hey, Grizzly fans, make sure you get the most complete Grizzlies coverage by subscribing daily to the Fresno Bee, and we'll cap it off with a cap. If you are a baseball fan, you won't want to miss the Bee's in-depth stories, columns, and box scores that appear every day in the Bee. In addition to the complete coverage of your hometown AAA team, you will also receive all the top local news, entertainment, and advertisements. Call today to subscribe to the Bee for 3 months. Mention this ad and we will send you a free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap. Call 411-6233 or 1-800-877-3400 to subscribe and receive your free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap today.
Baseball season is here, and it's time to book your picnic in the Miller Pavilion at Grizzlies Stadium. Watch your Fresno Grizzlies battle the competition in the best stadium in minor league baseball. The Miller Pavilion provides a great environment for your company or church picnic, and your admission includes your seat and a fully catered meal. Prices start as low as $21.50, and availability is limited. So call 442-1994 to speak with a Grizzlies representative today to book your event.
What's my Subway salad? Well, it's hard for a farmer man to choose. Yes, my goat friend, the new Atkins Friendly Grilled Chicken and Baby Spinach is my favorite. Grilled chicken strips and tasty toppers all on a bed of 100% baby spinach. It's Atkins Friendly. So's the classic club salad made fresh under my zipper. Too bad Atkins ain't for goats. Watch your language. My Subway salad, any of the new Subway fresh salads. It's what I eat when I want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
All right. Fresno 5, Salt Lake 1. We go to the visitors' half of the fifth inning. Doug Greenwald with you on KAT 103.1. The 1. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Fresno. A run, 2 hits, no errors for Salt Lake. And Francisco Santos, the only man not to bat in the 4-run fourth for Fresno. Starts the top of the fifth. He'll be followed by Adam Shabala and David Doster. 5, 6, 7. Face the right-hander Steve Andrade, who came in to strike out Damon Minor to win the top of the fourth. The Grizzlies trying to add to their 5-1 lead. And Andrade's pitch to Santos misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. No battle of the bullpens right now. Both starters out of the ball game. Andrade out of the full windup comes home, and Santos takes low and in. 2-0. Noah Lowry went 3 innings today for the Grizzlies, allowed 2 hits, a run which was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 1. 2 balls, no strikes. Andrade to the plate. Santos looks up and away. 3-0 now. Buchek, 3 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs all earned. He walked 1 and struck out 2. Santos is grounded to short. He's grounded to second. Infield around to the right, and 3-0 on the way. Francisco taking all the way, looks at strike 1 on the outside corner. 3-1 the count. Andrade, a guy that we mentioned, looks like he throws a knuckleball. Santos takes strike 2 on the outside corner, 3-2, but it's more of a slurve. Combination curveball and slider. It has a very easy motion. So Santos has looked at 5 pitches, 3 have been balls, 2 have been strikes, and now the payoff from Andrade. And Santos chases a slurve well out of the strike zone. Strike 3, ball down and away. Andrade, a good job right there. He has struck out both Minor and Santos. 1 down, that'll bring up the left fielder, Adam Shabala. Coming up on Tuesday, April 20th, it's going to be 50-cent hot dog night at downtown Grizzlies Stadium, sponsored by Evergood Fine Foods. 7:05 start against Edmonton. 50-cent hot dogs all night long. Here is Shabala, and he swings and misses and a slurve down and in. No balls, 1 strike. He is 2 for 2 this afternoon. He has singled twice. He has scored and has stolen a base. Outfield medium depth and straight away, and the pitch from Andrade misses up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Talking last night about whether or not Barry Bonds will play tonight in San Diego. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shabala swings and misses at a breaking ball, 1-2. Or Felipe Alou will hold him out and have him play tomorrow. That way he, if not tomorrow, over the 10-game homestand, would more than likely get home run number 660. Shabala looks low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. David Doster waiting on deck. Outfield plays Shabala around to the left. And the 2-2 from Andrade. Breaking ball misses just off the plate. 3-2 now. All 9 of Fresno's hits have gone for singles, loading 4 of them in that 4-run fourth. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and the payoff. Shabala swings and dribbles this one slowly toward third. Charged by Pelias. Barehand pickup throws not in time. Shabala with good speed beats it out for his 3rd single today. And he's now 3 for 3. 10 hits now for Fresno. 1 on, 1 out, and here's the second baseman, Dave Doster. He is 1 for 2. He has gone to the third, and he has singled to left. Also scored in that fourth inning. Well, the Giants are going to need runs in that lineup tonight. They're in jeopardy of being swept in San Diego. Well, here is Doster with Shabala at first, and David takes, and that is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Shabala looking across the diamond at his third base coach and hitting instructor, Steve Decker. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Big hole on the right side of the infield. And Doster takes outside, thrown back to first by the catcher Nieves, and back safely with a dive is Shabala. But generally speaking, Sunday has been the day where you switch things up a little bit. Teams will go to their alternate jersey. The manager will elect to manage from the dugout, give the hitting coach the third base coaching duty. 2 balls, no strikes, and the breaking ball outside. The Doster 3-0 now. The first 3 batters that Andrade has faced here in the 5th have gone to 3-ball counts. Santos at 3-2 struck out. Shabala at 3-2, an infield hit, and we'll see what happens here at 3-0 to Doster. Taking all the way, looks inside, ball 4. So he draws a walk. Shabala goes to second. That puts runners at first and second for the catcher Craig Kuzmic. RBI single and a run scored back in the 4th. Well, the other night, a 5-1 lead was not enough for the Grizzlies. And I assure you, they are well aware of that. Up 5-1 here very early in the game, just the top of the 5th. Curveball from Andrade. Kuzmic well out in front of it. Swings and misses. No balls, 1 strike. Mentioned Craig went to Texas A&M, but grew up in the shadow of Los Angeles, Mountain Valley, California. Not too far from a Knott's Berry Farm. No balls, 1 strike. Andrade to the plate, and the breaking ball is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Center fielder Jason Ellison waiting on deck. Lead at second by Shabala. Doster at first. Andrade kicks and throws the 1-1 low outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Anaheim has had its affiliate here since 2001. Salt Lake was with the Twins from 1994 through 2000. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Runners lead at first and second. Kuzmic swings and dribbles this one up along third, and that will trickle foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball club owned by Buzis Baseball Incorporated here in Salt Lake. George Buzis, the late George Buzis, for many years owned the team back in New Britain, Connecticut. And the ownership and management here originally is from the East Coast. Dorsina Picknell is the vice president, general manager of this Salt Lake team. She hails from Vermont. A rather distinctive New England accent when I talk to Dorsina. But an absolutely beautiful ballpark here in Salt Lake. Look forward to being back here in May when the weather's a little warmer. 2-2 on the way. And Kuzmic swings and misses at a fastball. Strike 3, and he is out. 3 strikeouts now for Andrade. Keeps Shabala at second, Doster at first. And here is the center fielder, Jason Ellison. They say a little warmer today is picture perfect, but at night, over the first several games of this series, got down into the low to mid-40s. Now here is Ellison, an RBI single and a run scored back in the 4th. Shabala from second, Doster from first, and Ellison looks at strike 1 on the inside corner. 0-1 the count. But Salt Lake has had professional baseball since 1901, when it was part of the Intermountain League. I'm sure most of you remember that. Fresno 5, Salt Lake 1, top of the 5th. Andrade to the plate, and Ellison swings in a little loop right on the shallow left field. Amazing of the shortstop backpedaling, and he runs it down. And the Grizzlies out in the 5th. A hit they leave to. We're halfway through this one from Salt Lake. Fresno 5, Salt Lake 1 on KAAT 103.1. The One.
The Fresno Grizzlies have a full lineup in store for you opening weekend. On Saturday, 7:05, it'll be Jerome Williams bobblehead night for the first 2,500 fans, sponsored by Mervyn. The weekend is capped on Sunday, a 2:05 matinee. The first 10,000 fans will receive Crazy Paint Fresno Grizzlies magnetic schedules. Tickets are still on sale for all three games. Call the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Grizzlies baseball, there is nothing minor about it.
Welcome to Hank's Kitchen, the cooking show for guys. Today's breakfast, leftover pizza. Step 1, open the fridge. Step 2, pull out the pizza box from last week. But try not to knock over that half-empty can of beer. You're going to need that later. Step 3, look at the pizza. Is it shrunken, dehydrated, and curled up like a witch's boot? If so, you might need to use the microwave. Now, sometimes the pizza is beyond resuscitation. To test it, tap it against the table. If it makes this noise, just go to Carl's Jr. instead for a low-carb breakfast bowl. There's eggs, cheese, sausage, ham, bacon, and it's all in a bowl. As for the pizza, have it later with that half-empty beer. Just pretend it's a really big cracker.
The low-carb breakfast bowl with only 5 grams of carbs. New at Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. Price and participation may vary.
Fresno 5, Salt Lake 1. We go to the bottom of the 5th. We're halfway through this one this afternoon from the Beehive State. And Ryan Specht will lead it off. Batters 9, 1, and 2 for Salt Lake. Specht. And then the top of the order for Amaziga and Wesson face the Utah native, Ryan Jensen. So Specht an RBI single back in the second inning, and Jensen's pitch swing and a fly ball right center field. Ellison on his horse, still going back. This ball was over his head. One hop to the wall, one hop over the wall for a ground rule double. Now, when that left Specht's bat, it looked like it was going to be a lazy fly ball out toward right center, and in this altitude, it just kept on going. And Ellison, even with all of his speed, wasn't going to get that one, so it bounced over the fence. And a good start for Salt Lake here on the bottom of the 5th inning. A ground rule double for Specht, now 2 for 2 today. Third hit for Salt Lake. And for the third time this afternoon, Salt Lake goes to the top of its order for the shortstop, Alfredo Amaziga. And Ryan Jensen's pitch lifted high in the air in the straightaway center. Ellison has this one lined up, and he makes the catch, one out, and Specht will hold at second base. Amaziga retired for the third time today, and that will bring up the center fielder, Barry Wesson. The Fresno Bee is Central California's leading newspaper. Call 559-441-6233 or 1-800-877-3400 to subscribe today. The Fresno Bee. So here is Wesson. He is grounded to the pitcher and is fly to right. Laid at second base by Specht. And the pitch to Barry Wesson is a strike called on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. (5-1) Fresno, home half of the 5th inning. Jensen a look back at second base, and now the right-hander delivers. Wesson swings and misses at a curve. 0-2 the count. Talking about the Beehive State. And I was wondering why this is called the Beehive State. And I was told that the Mormons, way back when, used to raise bees. No balls, 2 strikes, and Wesson swings in. This is at a slider. Strike 3. For Jensen, his first strikeout, 2 down. Specht holds at second, and Quinlan will be the batter. I don't know how you raise bees, but had bee farms against a lot of beehives. And that is the story I was told, how this state got to be known as the Beehive State. Well, here is Quinlan. 0 for 1 with a walk, right-hand batter. Lead at second by Specht, and Rob Quinlan looks at strike 1 on the inside corner. 0-1 to count. Don't find a lot of baseball players out of Utah. Not really baseball weather here throughout the year. The 0-1 on the way. Quinlan takes, and that is a strike on the outside corner. 0-2 the count. Lead at second by Speck. No balls. 2 strikes the count with 2 outs. Look back at second by Jensen. On the pitch. Quinlan swings. A little dribbler towards short. Charged by Athos. Throws quickly to get the hustling Quinlan. And that ends the 5th. Jensen works around the leadoff double. A hit, a man left. We go to the 6th. Fresno 5, Salt Lake 1 on KAAT 103.1. The 1.
Community Medical Centers is proud to give you all a place to bring your creaks, aches, pains, sprains, and groans. The new state-of-the-art Community Sports Center, conveniently located north Fresno, offers 12,000 square feet dedicated to fitness training and the latest outpatient rehabilitation therapies. Ask your doctor about the place that every body needs, the Community Sports Center. Who let the dogs out? The Fresno Grizzlies will on Tuesday night, April 20th. It'll be 50-cent hot dog night at downtown Grizzly Stadium, sponsored by Evergood Fine Foods. The game will start at 7:05 against the Edmonton Trappers. While we can't promise a hot night at the park, we can promise a hot dog at a time. Grizzlies baseball, there's nothing minor about it. Do you like great bargains? Enjoy online auctions? Check out B-Link, the Valley's largest local online auction. This is your chance to bid on hundreds of items from local retailers. First, log on to FresnoBee.com/B-Link. That's FresnoBee.com/BEELINK. And register anytime beginning April 12th for your chance to preview items up for bid. Check out the merchandise you're interested in at the store's location. Then, look for the product guide in your Fresno Bee starting Sunday, April 18th. But the real fun begins Tuesday, April 20th, when you start bidding. B-Link, the Fresno Bee's online auction. Bid online and save.
Fresno 5, Salt Lake 1. We go to the top of the 6th inning here this afternoon from the Great Salt Lake to Greenwald on KAAT 103.1. The 1. 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors for Fresno. A run, 3 hits, no errors for Salt Lake. And Dusty Bergman is the 3rd Salt Lake pitcher here this afternoon. Steve Andrade went an inning and a third, allowed a hit, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. And Brian Dallimore will lead it off as Fresno is at the top of its order for the 4th time today. They'll be followed by Jamie Athos and Todd Linden. Bergman got the win here the other night in that 5-run 9th inning for Salt Lake. And he faces Dallimore, swings and grounds one to third. Polias a tough time coming up with it, but does, and he throws past Quinlan all the way to the side of the facing of the first base stands. And Dallimore is safe. Polias had a backhand at it, bobbled it for a moment, then got control and then threw it past Quinlan. And he is going to be charged with an error. And Dallimore aboard for the 4th time today. And that will bring up the shortstop, Jamie Athos. Bergman, the left-hander, out of Carson City, Nevada. That is the capital. So here is Athos, a single back in the 3rd inning, 1 for 3, and he takes outside. A ball, no strikes. Hey, Grizzlies fans, have you heard? Your neighborhood Subway restaurants have delicious salads, like the new Atkins Friendly Grilled Chicken and Baby Spinach, or the Classic Club Salad. And Subway salads are made fresh right in front of you. Subway, eat fresh. Dallimore at first. Quinlan plays off the bag, right next to him. A fastball. Athos looks at a strike on the inside corner. 1-1 the count. Mentioned Athos grew up in Holyoke, Massachusetts, out toward the western part of the state. Outfield around to the left, and he takes low. 2 balls and a strike. The Milwaukee Brewers and San Francisco Giants at one time both had affiliates in Holyoke. Holyoke. 2 balls, 1 strike. Lead at first by Dallimore. Bergman to the plate. He takes off, swinging a ground ball to second base. expect. Up with it goes to Meziga. Second for one on the first for two. Nicely turned, 4-6-3 double play. 2 down, nobody on. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Todd Linden. Todd is 2 for 3 today, a couple of singles, 2 RBIs. Now, the fielder's choice back in the fourth. Initially, he was given 2 RBIs, but it was only 1 RBI, which scored Kuzmic, and then Jason Ellison, who had stopped at third, then hustled in to score, but Linden only got credit for 1 run batted in. Switch hitter bats right-handed, and he takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. That was a play where Buchek went over to cover, trying to turn what would have been an inning-ending 3-6-1 double play, but Linden had just beat it out. No balls and a strike, and Todd takes low, 1-1. And Buchek fell to the ground, and we still not received word what his injury was, but had to leave the game. But while Buchek was laying in the dirt, Ellison came home to score the second of the 2 runs on that fielder's choice. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Bergman, this is inside, 2-1. That's why Linden was only given credit for 1 RBI, since Ellison stopped and then came home. It didn't go as a run batted in. 2-1 on the way. Linden a big swing and a ground ball deep in the hole at short, grabbed by Meziga, but all he can do is hold on to the ball, and Todd Linden has his 3rd hit today, now 3 for 4. That is the 11th hit for Fresno. All have come for singles. That will bring up the designated hitter, Damon Miner. Grizzlies with 1 in the 3rd and 4 in the 4th. And now Miner stands in. He is 0 for 3. And once again, the Stingers put on that infield shift for Miner. The third baseman, Polias, back in the bag, well off the line. Shortstop Meziga plays directly behind second base. Damon Miner takes low inside from Bergman. 1 ball, no strikes. Bergman just about all of last year at AA Arkansas, where he went 5-1 for the Travelers. That squad for Arkansas also 3-0 like Salt Lake. Damon Miner swings and drives one down the left field line toward the corner, and that is going to land fair and go all the way to the base of the wall, picked up by Riggs. On his way to third is Linden. He's going to be away to the plate, and he will score standing up. An RBI double for Damon Miner. 6-1 Fresno. And that is the first extra base hit for the Grizzlies today. And it comes in the top of the 6th. And Damon Miner comes through on the year. Miner now with 4 RBIs. 6-1 Grizzlies now with 12 hits, and that extends the inning for the first baseman, Francisco Santos. He is hitless today in 3 at-bats. In fact, he is the only Grizzly without a hit. So here is the pitch from Bergman. Santos takes a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 the count. With Adam Shabala, the left fielder, wetting on deck. Fresno 6, Salt Lake 1. Visitors half of the 6th inning, and Bergman to the plate. Santos swings and dribbles one foul back of the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. We've been talking about Anaheim and its affiliates, the minor league level. The club here in Salt Lake, AA Arkansas, Rancho Cucamonga in the Cal League, Cedar Rapids in the Midwest League. No balls, 2 strikes, and a foul ball left side by Santos. Count holds it 0-2. And then their rookie league team is located in Provo, Utah, just south of here, about half an hour. And then they also have an Arizona Summer League team in Mesa, which is where their minor league spring training complex is. Bergman's 0-2, and that is looped back at third, and that's going to land fair down the left field line. Rounding third is Miner. He scores. Santos on his way to second, and he will hustle in safely with a stand-up RBI double, 7-1 Fresno. And now every Grizzly this afternoon in the starting lineup has a base hit. Gives Santos a run batted in. That is his first in 2004. Back-to-back 2-out doubles for the Grizzlies, Miner and Santos. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Adam Shabala. 13 hits now for the Grizzlies, along with a 7-1 lead. Shabala is 3 for 3. All 3 of his hits have been singles. Bergman to the plate, and Adams swings and lines one foul left side. No balls, 1 strike. Shambhala out of the University of Nebraska. And in May, the Grizzlies are going to take a game there. No balls, one strike. Pitch to Adams, swing, and a line drive to right. Gibson going back is there to make the catch. And that ends the top of the sixth. But the Grizzlies strike for 2 more runs. 3 hits, an error, a man left after 5.5. Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1 on KAAT 103.1. The one for the Sounds of Sinatra.
So I go to hang out with my friend Jen the other day, and I get stuck in the lobby of her apartment building because Jen's line is busy and I have no one to buzz me in. So there I am between the 2 glass doors, and I notice, for the first time ever, that there are 2 stacks of Yellow Page directories. Right there in front of the mailboxes is a stack of Yellow Book Yellow Pages and a stack of that other book by the phone company. Yuck. Who wants anything from the phone company? So I started thinking, why are there 2 stacks of Yellow Pages? First I called my friend Kathy, and I said, did you know there were 2 kinds of Yellow Pages? And Kathy goes, no, but did you ever see Yellow Book's menus? They've got a ton of restaurants in there. And then I called my mom, and I said, did you know there were 2 kinds of Yellow Pages? And my mom goes, no, Candace, but I know Yellow Book has all the businesses I need to redo my home. So I'm thinking, if everyone's so into Yellow Book, how come there are 2 stacks of Yellow Pages? I mean, who needs that other book anyway? Not me.
Smart business owners advertising Yellow Book, not that other book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
In store for a hot, long summer in the Valley? Looking for somewhere that will quench your thirst? Then head to downtown Grizzly Stadium for every home Thursday game. It'll be Thirsty Thursday. Enjoy 12-ounce Miller products and 12-ounce Coca-Cola products for just $1. That's right, just $1 for every Thursday home game. Grizzlies baseball. There's nothing minor about it. Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning from Franklin Covey Field in Salt Lake City, Utah. Doug Greenwald with you on KAT 103.1. The one. 7 runs, 13 hits, no errors for Fresno. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for Salt Lake. And Adam Riggs to lead it off. He'll be followed by Alex Polias and Wilbert Nieves. 4, 5, and 6 to face right-hander Ryan Jensen. His first pitch to Riggs is taken for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Riggs 0 for 1 with a walk. That was back in the first inning against Noah Lowry. Jensen's 0-1. Breaking ball misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the Grizzlies trying to win their first game of 2004. It's not been easy so far. The right-hander Jensen is 1-1 on the way. Bounces in the dirt right in front of the catcher Kuzmic. 2 balls, 1 strike. Riggs has had some big league time with Anaheim, formerly in the Dodgers organization. 2 balls and a strike. Jensen to the plate, and Riggs swings and pops this one up. Back at second base, Doster moving out for it is there to make the catch. 1 down. Riggs now for 2. That'll bring up the third baseman, Alex Polias. We were talking earlier about Ryan Jensen being from Utah. Over the years, there have not been a lot of major league players from this state. In fact, going into this year, in the entire history of Major League Baseball, only 33 players have been born in Utah. So here is Polias, and he takes it inside. 1 ball, no strikes. But one of them, that is well known in the Giants history, Herman Franks, who managed San Francisco from 1965 to 68, and also spent time as a manager with the Cubs. 1-0 on the way, swinging a ground ball deep in the hole at short, backhanded by Athos, long throw in time. And Polias is the second out here in the 6th inning. That'll bring up the catcher, Wilbert Nieves. Herman Franks also spent 10 years as a player in the Major League with the St. Louis Browns, Brooklyn Dodgers, a brief stint with the Philadelphia A's, and spent 1 game as a player with the Giants. And Herman Franks is still alive and still lives here in the Salt Lake area. So here's Nieves, perfect on the afternoon, a double and a walk, and he swings and rips this one foul left side. No balls, 1 strike. Giant fans will also remember a player who has spent about 6 years
7 years with the San Francisco. The pitcher, Kelly Downs, who was born in Ogden. Downs part of the 1989 pennant-winning club for San Francisco. No balls, one strike the count. Ryan Jensen out of the windup. He comes home on a fastball low inside. 1-1 the count. So the Giants and the state of Utah with some connections. Jensen, Franks, and Kelly Downs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryan Jensen comes home, and Nieves swings and misses at a curve in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. With the right fielder, Derek Gibson, waiting on deck. Wind blowing ever so softly right now out toward left. The 1-2 on the way. A big swing and a tap foul back to the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But Ryan Jensen no longer on the Giants' 40-man roster, so if he gets back to the big leagues with San Francisco, then the Giants will have to create a roster spot for him. 1-2 the count, and again, Jensen's pitch, Wilbur Nieves swings and a tapper toward third, and that goes foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A lot of players who were with Fresno last year are no longer on the 40-man roster, but are still in the Giants system. Francisco Santos, Ryan Jensen, Chad Zerbe, Jeff Urban, all taken off the 40-man within the last year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 7-1 Fresno. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Jensen from the middle of the rubber winds and throws, and Nieves swings, pokes this one foul toward the Sweets right side. And the count remains at 1-2. You see some of the fans sitting out on the grassy berms in left field and out in right field with their picnic blankets, the kids running around. Wish I could join them out there, call the game from there on this beautiful day. The 1-2 on the way. Big curve, swinging a ground ball back at third. Grabbed by Gallimore around his shoe tops. Long throw across to Santos at first. Nieves is out. Just a second time. Today, Salt Lake goes in order. We head to the 7th from Utah. It is Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1 on KAAT 103.1. The one for Big Band Weekend.
Hey, Grizzly fans! Make sure you get the most complete Grizzlies coverage by subscribing daily to the Fresno Bee, and we'll cap it off with a cap. If you are a baseball fan, you won't want to miss the Bee's in-depth stories, columns, and box scores that appear every day in the Bee. In addition to the complete coverage of your hometown AAA team, you will also receive all the top local news, entertainment, and advertisements. Call today to subscribe to the Bee for 3 months. Mention this ad, and we will send you a free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap. Call 411-6233 or 1-800-877-3400 to subscribe and receive your free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap today.
Grizzlies mini ticket plans are now on sale. You can choose from a 12-game plan, which includes opening night, 5 giveaway nights, fireworks, and special appearances by the Philly Fanatic, Raiderettes, and Berserk. Or choose the All-Star 18-game plan, which gives you your choice of the day or days of the week which suit you best. That's right. You get to choose your plan. Contact the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Grizzlies baseball. There's nothing minor about it.
What's my Subway salad? Well, it's hard for a farmer man to choose. Yes, my goat friend, the new Atkins Friendly Grilled Chicken and Baby Spinach is my favorite, with grilled chicken strips and tasty toppers all on a bed of 100% baby spinach. It's Atkins Friendly. So's the classic club salad made fresh under my sniffer. Too bad Atkins ain't for goats. What's your language? My Subway salad, any of the new Subway fresh salads. It's what I eat when I want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
David Doster leads off the top of the 7th for the Fresno Grizzlies. A 7-1 lead for Fresno. Doster, Kuzmic, and Ellison, bottom third of the order, to face the left-hander Dusty Bergman, whose first pitch to Doster. Right-handed batter looks at a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Doster 1 for 2, a single and a run scored. That was back in the 4-run fourth for Fresno. Bergman working quickly, comes back. Doster swings and a fly ball on the right, but right at Derek Gibson, who drops back a step to make the catch. 1 up, 1 down. And that will bring up the catcher, Craig Kuzmic. Trust the Fresno Bee for complete coverage of the Fresno Grizzlies. Top local news, entertainment, and advertisements. The Fresno Bee. So here is Kuzmic, an RBI single and a run scored also in the fourth. Dusty Bergman's pitch, and Kuzmic swings a ground ball to the shortstop. Amezaga stepped to his left up with it, and he throws across to Quinlan. And Kuzmic is the second out here in the top of the seventh. Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Jason Ellison. Jason 1 for 3, an RBI single and a run scored. Again, we're on BroadcastMonsters.com. Feel free to join us online. Bergman's pitch to Jason, fastball, strike one called on the outside corner, 0-1. Or you can email us at grizzradio@AOL.com or instant message us, GRIZZ. Bergman's 0-1 to Ellison outside for a ball, 1-1. Just got a nice email from Adam Shabala's niece, Brianna. Would like to congratulate Adam on his first ever AAA hit. Good to hear from you, Brianna. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Ellison swings, and a little tap right in front of the plate, grabbed by the catcher Nieves, throws to Quinlan at first, and Ellison is the third out here in the seventh. Nothing across for the Grizzlies, who are retired in order for the first time today. Stretch time in Salt Lake, Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1 on KAT 103.1, the one for Easter Sunday baseball.
Do you like great bargains? Enjoy online auctions? Check out B-Link, the Valley's largest local online auction. This is your chance to bid on hundreds of items from local retailers. First, log on to FresnoBee.com/B-Link. That's FresnoBee.com/BEELINK. And register anytime beginning April 12th for your chance to preview items up for bid. Check out the merchandise you're interested in at the store's location. Then, look for the product guide in your Fresno Bee starting Sunday, April 18th. But the real fun begins Tuesday, April 20th, when you start bidding. B-Link, the Fresno Bee's online auction. Bid online and save. Monday, April 19th and Monday, May 10th, it'll be a business person special at downtown Grizzly Stadium. For just $12, you get 2 field-level tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 bags of David's Original Sunflower Seeds, and 2 12-ounce fountain drinks. Bring a buddy, bring the whole office. Each game starts at 12:05. For more information, call the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Grizzlies baseball. There's nothing minor about it.
Have you walked into your favorite bar or restaurant lately and noticed something's missing? It's secondhand smoke. It's been at least 6 years since the bars and restaurants have gone smoke-free. People working in the bar and restaurant industry no longer have to worry about choosing between their job and their health. Even customers can breathe easier, now without the smoky haze that once floated around them as they ate and drank. The Fresno County Tobacco Prevention Program at 445-3276 encourages all bars and restaurants to continue protecting their employees and customers from harmful secondhand smoke. If you have any questions regarding the smoke-free workplace law, call the Fresno County Tobacco Prevention Program at 445-3276.
Tagged by Gallimore, and he throws across to get Gibson. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, that ball was smoked, and a good play by Gallimore. 1 down, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, Jake Thrower. Tyler Walker begins the throw in the Grizzlies' left field bullpen, and now Salt Lake about to get action going in its right field pin. Now here is Thrower, who is 0 for 2. He is grounded to second and is grounded into a double play. Ryan Jensen to the plate, and Thrower swings and misses at a curve in the dirt. No balls, 1 strike. They'll chalk up another win in the early season for the Detroit Tigers. 10-inning victory today over Minnesota, 6-5. Steve Collier, the winner, the former Las Vegas 51 pitcher. Jensen's 0-1 is taken low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Former Fresno Grizzly, Joe Roa, the loss for the Twins. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And Ryan Jensen to the plate, swinging a foul ball right off Thrower's foot. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yankees salvage a split with the White Sox 5-4. Mike Mussina gets his first win of the year. Back-to-back games for Jose Valentin with a home run. Bubba Crosby, his second homer with the Yankees. So it's been a big day for former Las Vegas 51 players from last year's team. Bubba Crosby a home run, and for the Yankees. Steve Collier, a win for the Tigers. Tampa Bay all over Baltimore today, 10-1. Victor Zambrano now 3-0. Jose Cruz Jr., Tino Martinez, Ivory Huff, all homer for Tampa Bay. Count to Jake Thrower is at a ball and 2 strikes. He is hitless in 2 at-bats. Outfield well around to the left. And Jensen's pitch. Thrower swings and lifts one high down the left field line. Toward the line is Shabala, and Adam is there to make the catch in fair territory. 2 down. I'll bring up the second baseman, Brian Speck. Boston on a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 12th by David Ortiz. It was the Red Sox, a 6-4 win over the Blue Jays. Boston was down by 2 going to the bottom of the 8th, scored 1 in the 8th and 1 in the 9th to tie it. And they went in the 12th. So here is Speck. Perfect on the afternoon, 2 for 2. Ryan Jensen's pitch, and Speck looks low inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Jensen's been on since the 4th. The right-hander out of the lineup is 1-0 on the way. Swinging a ground ball foul first base side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kansas City beat Cleveland 5-3. Scott Sullivan the winner. Anaheim leads at Texas 6-2. Vladimir Guerrero hit his second home run on the year for the Angels. A ball and a strike. Jensen to the plate and a breaking ball low. 2-1. Oakland leads Seattle 4-2. Bottom of the 7th at the Coliseum. Eric Chavez, a home run for the A's, his first this year. Now Seattle still winless on the season at 0-5. The 2-1 to Speck is fouled off left side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, the Mariners, the only team in Major League Baseball without a win off their worst start since 1994. Oakland 4-1 coming into today. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jensen from the middle of the rubber winds, and his pitch low inside, 3-2. Ryan Speck, the Colorado Springs native, waits the payoff pitch from Jensen, and that is low inside. He draws a walk. So he stays perfect on the afternoon. 3rd walk allowed by Jensen. And now for the 4th time this afternoon, Salt Lake will go to the top of its order for the shortstop, Alfredo Amezaga. National League, the Cubs take 2 of 3 of it at Atlanta 10-2 today. Kerry Wood beat former Fresno Grizzly Russell Ortiz. Moise Alou, Michael Barrett, Alex Gonzalez, and Corey Patterson all go deep for the Cubs. And here's Amezaga. He's hitless today. A 7-1 lead for Fresno, bottom of the 7th. And Ryan Jensen kicks and delivers, and Alfredo looks low. 1 ball, no strikes. Speck at first base. Santos, the first baseman, plays behind him. Grizzlies up by 6 here in the home half of the 7th. Dallimore well off the bag at 3rd. The outfield around to the left. 1 ball, no strikes, and Jensen's pitch is low to Amezaga. 2-0 the count. Matt Hensley warming up for the Stingers. Mentioned Walker warming up for the Grizzlies. 2 balls, no strikes, with the center fielder Barry Wesson on deck. Ryan Jensen kicks and delivers, and Amezaga swinging a foul to the backstop. 2-1. That's the winner in Montreal, or in Puerto Rico against Montreal, 4-1. Tom Glavine beat former Giant Levon Hernandez. Braden Looper, his first save as a Met, and Eric Valent, a home run for New York's National League team. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ryan Jensen to the plate. There goes Speck, the pitch taken low, and they're just going to give Speck second base on scores indifference. And the count to Amezaga is at 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike to count. Jensen now set from the first base side of the rubber. He kicks and delivers, and Amezaga swings and pops it up. Out on the shallow left center, the center fielder Ellison calling for it, and Jason was there to make the catch. And the Stingers out in the 7th inning, no runs. They lead 1 on to the 8th. Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1 on KAAT 103.1. The 1 for Big Band Weekend.
Welcome to
Hank's Kitchen, the cooking show for guys. Today's breakfast, leftover pizza. Step 1, open the fridge. Step 2, pull out the pizza box from last week. But try not to knock over that half-empty can of beer. You're going to need that later. Step 3, look at the pizza. Is it shrunk? Dehydrated and curled up like a witch's boot? If so, you might need to use the microwave. Now, sometimes the pizza is beyond resuscitation. To test it, tap it against the table. If it makes this noise, just go to Carl's Jr. instead for a low-carb breakfast bowl. There's eggs, cheese, sausage, ham, bacon, and it's all in a bowl. As for the pizza, have it later with that half-empty beer. Just pretend it's a really big cracker.
The low-carb breakfast bowl with only 5 grams of carbs. New at Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. Price and participation may vary.
Do you like great bargains? Enjoy online auctions? Check out B-Link, the Valley's largest local online auction. This is your chance to bid on hundreds of items from local retailers. First, log on to FresnoBee.com/B-Link. That's Fresno, BEE.com/BEELINK. And register anytime beginning April 12th for your chance to preview items up for bid. Check out the merchandise you're interested in at the store's location. Then, look for the product guide in your Fresno Bee starting Sunday, April 18th. But the real fun begins Tuesday, April 20th, when you start bidding. B-Link, the Fresno Bee's online auction. Bid online and save. Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1. We go to the top of the 8th inning from northern Utah. Doug Greenwald on KAAT 103.1. The 1, and the new one on the mound for Salt Lake is right-hander Matt Hensley, the 4th Salt Lake pitcher this afternoon. Dusty Bergman goes 2 innings, allows 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Gives way to Hensley, who pitched here on opening night, going 2 scoreless innings, striking out of pair. And he will face Brian Dallimore to lead it off. So Fresno at the top of its order for the 5th time this afternoon. It'll be Dallimore, Athos, and Linden. Brian is 1 for 3 with a walk. He's been on base 3 times. Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1. And now Hensley, the right-hander who grew up in San Diego. Out of a full windup, and the right-hander's pitch, fastball popped up down the right field line. Gibson over toward the line, and the right fielder is there to make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Dallimore retired for the 2nd time today, and that will bring up the shortstop, Jamie Athos. New at Carl's Jr., the low-carb breakfast bowl with eggs, cheese, bacon, sausage, ham, and only 5 grams of carbs. Now only at Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. Athos swings at the first pitch from Hensley and fouls one off left side. No balls, 1 strike. Jamie is 1 for 4, a single to left field, back in the 3rd inning. Grizzlies trailed 1-0 after 2, but it's been all Fresno since. Hensley to the plate, and Athos looks low inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Talking about the Detroit Tigers off to a 5-1 start. Doing it without Dimitri Young. 1-1 on the way, and Jamie looks low, 2-1. He's going to miss throughout the next 6 to 8 weeks with a broken right leg, which he suffered in their opening series at Toronto. But still, Detroit off to a very, very good start. It's great to see in a real good baseball town. 2 balls and a strike. Athos swings, and a line drive just past the second baseman Speck on in the right center field, a base hit. Athos on for the 2nd time today, a couple of singles for him. 14 hits now for the Grizzlies, who have a 7-1 lead. That'll bring up the right fielder, Todd Linden. Again, feel free to join us online, GrizzRadio at AOL.com, GRIZZ. You can instant message us or email us. Those of you listening on either KAAT or BroadcastMonsters.com. You can do that all season long. Love to talk baseball. Love to talk Grizzlies with all of you. Here is Todd Linden. 3 hits today, all singles. He's been on base 4 times.
Athos from first, and Linden swings and misses at a fastball 0-1. Again, I want to thank Todd's grandparents for emailing us the other night. His family offered to buy me some hot dogs on 50-cent hot dog night coming up April 20th at Grizzly Stadium. And I will take you up on that offer, that is for sure. 0-1 from Hensley, swing and a chopper toward first. Quinlan scoops it up, moving to his right, flips to the shortstop, amazed to get covering to get Athos. And they get the force at second, 3-6. 2 out, Linden on at first base, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, Damon Minor. Pittsburgh a 4-3 winner at Cincinnati today. Oliver Perez getting the win in that one, beat Jimmy Haynes. Adam Dunn and Austin Kearns homer for the Reds. Here's Damon Minor, an RBI double back in the 6th inning. Left-handed batter with Linden at first, and he takes outside 1-0. Houston knocks off Milwaukee 7-4. Roy Oswald gets his first one of the year, beat Doug Davis. Jeff Kent and Lance Berkman homer for the Astros. 1 ball, no strikes to count with Santos on deck. Infield swung well around to the right. Outfield deep and straight away. Hensley to the plate, and Minor takes low and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Florida 3-1 winner at home over Philadelphia. Josh Beckett gets his first win since his World Series clinching win back in October. Beat Kevin Millwood, who falls to 0-2. Damian Easley and Miguel Cabrera each homer for the Marlins. Cabrera already with 3. 2 balls, no strikes. Linden from first, and Minor takes, and that is high. 3-0. How about Armando Benitez with 5 saves already for Florida? That was a signing that really didn't go noticed, or there really wasn't a lot of publicity about that during the offseason after the Marlins let Ugueth Urbina go. 3 balls, no strikes, and Hensley's pitch, and that is high, ball 4. So Damon Minor draws a 2-out walk. That puts runners at first and second. Linden trots down 90 feet to second base, and here is Francisco Santos.
First baseman,
but so far, some of the newcomers to that Marlins club coming through. He chopped Soy with 2 home runs yesterday. Benitez with 5 saves. Club that lost a lot also got some good players in return, and should be in the running for a return trip to the playoffs. So here is Santos with an RBI double back in the 6th. The 7-1 lead for Fresno. We're on the top of the 8th inning. Can the Grizzlies leave after the game today to go to San Diego? Well, they'll fly to San Diego, and then we'll make the 3-hour bus ride over to Yuma. Runners lead at first and second, and Santos swings and misses at a curve in the dirt. No balls, 1 strike. Colorado leads Los Angeles 3-1. Bottom of the 7th at Dodger Stadium. Former Dodger Jeremy Burnett, so home run for the Rockies. Vinny Castillo's also gone deep for the Rocks. That's how they refer to them in Denver, ROX, the Rocks for short. The 0-1 pitch, curve in the dirt, and Santos chases it, strike 2, 0-2. St. Louis a 4-1 lead at Arizona. Top of the 6th, Albert Pujols already with his 4th homer this year. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Giabalo waiting on deck. Lead at second by Linden, lead at first by Minor. And the 0-2 from Hensley, breaking ball, dribbled foul to the backstop. No balls, 2 strikes. Mentioned the Dodgers have been perfect since opening day. LA off to a 4-1 start, but that's in jeopardy this afternoon. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Santos takes on away, 1-2. But Florida now 5-1 on the year. Reds cooled off a bit today. They had won 4 in a row since their opening day loss. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Linden from second, Minor from first, both with big leads. And Hensley's 1-2 offering, swinging a chopper toward first, grabbed by Quinlan, who was playing near the line. He'll take it to the bank for the unassisted putout. And the Grizzlies finished in the top of the 8th. No runs, no hits. They lead. No runs, 1 hit. They lead 2. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1 on KAAT 103.1. The one for Big Band Weekend.
Community Medical Centers is trying to give you all a place to bring your creaks, aches, pains, spraying, and drones. The new state-of-the-art Community Sports Center, conveniently located north Fresno, offers 12,000 square feet dedicated to fitness training and the latest outpatient rehabilitation therapy. Ask your doctor about the place that every body needs, the Community Sports Center.
Looking for a great place to celebrate your birthday or team party? The Wildwood Pool and Spa at Grizzly Stadium is the place to be. Also great for bachelor parties, businesses, and family functions. The Wildwood Pool and Spa can accommodate any group from 25 to 50 people in size. Your pool admission includes a catered poolside meal, a unique way to watch Grizzlies take on the competition for all the great price of just $30 per person. Summer dates are filling fast, so cool off in the Fresno heat by calling 442-1994 to secure a spot by the pool today.
What's my Subway salad? Well, it's hard for a farmer man to choose. Yes, my goat friend, the new Atkins Friendly Grilled Chicken and Baby Spinach is my favorite, with grilled chicken strips and tasty toppers on a bed of 100% baby spinach. It's Atkins Friendly. So's the classic club salad made fresh under my sniffer. Too bad Atkins ain't for goats. Your language. My Subway salad, any of the new Subway fresh salads. It's what I eat when I want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
We've reached the home half of the eighth in Salt Lake City, Utah. 7-1, Fresno out in front. Over Salt Lake, Doug Greenwald with you on KAT 103.1, the one. And Tyler Walker is the new Fresno pitcher. An outstanding job in middle relief by Ryan Jensen, who went 4 innings, allowed 1 hit, no runs. He walked 3 and struck out 1. And now Walker, who pitched here on Friday night, going a scoreless inning in a third, striking out 3. Well, takes Barry Weston to lead it off, right-handed batter, and he takes high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Weston 0 for 3 this afternoon, facing the San Francisco native in Walker. Outfield medium depth and straight away on the right-hander to the plate, and Weston looks at strike 1 on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. With Rob Quinlan and Adam Riggs to follow. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, the Grizzlies trying for their first win of 2004. Tyler Walker to the plate, and Weston looks up and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Walker, formerly in the Mets organization, also spent time with the Tiger system last year at Toledo. 2 balls, 1 strike. He comes home on a fastball, and that misses low. 3-1 the count. And really the last thing Walker wants to do right here is walk the leadoff man, especially with his team up by 6. 3 balls, 1 strike to count. The right-hander set, even with nobody on. Kicks and delivers, and Weston looks at strike 2 on the outside corner. 3-2. Mentioned Walker, born in San Francisco, went to high school in San Francisco at University High, but grew up in Marin County. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Walker's payoff pitch. Weston swings, grounds one right back up the middle, but the shortstop Athos, ranging far to his left, throws on 1 hop. Good scoop by Santos, and Weston is out number 1. Good play by Athos. Tremendous range that Jamie Athos has. And a good play at first by Santos. 1 up, 1 down. Here is the first baseman, Rob Quinlan. Right-handed batter, 0 for 2. He has walked and has gone to the shortstop twice. Nobody warming up in either bullpen right now as Walker delivers, and Quinlan looks at strike 1 on the inside corner. 0-1 to count. With Adam Riggs waiting on deck. We'll be with you tomorrow night at 6:50 Pacific time for the pregame show. No balls and a strike. Quinlan reaches out for it, dribbles 1 foul, third base side. 0-2 the count. Yuma is in the Pacific time zone this time of year. There is no change in time at any time in Arizona. So 6:50 across the board for the pregame with 7:05 for the first pitch all 4 games. No balls, 2 strikes. Fastball misses outside from Walker. 1-2 the count. Kevin Pickford goes tomorrow night for Fresno. T.J. Tucker for Edmonton. And then we go back to the top of the rotation with Adam Pettyjohn on Tuesday. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the count. Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1. Bottom of the 8th, and Walker to the plate. Quinlan looks low outside. 2-2 the count. Two balls, 2 strikes. Third baseman Dallimore back of the bag, just off the line. And Tyler Walker to the plate. Curveball fouled back over the roof here at Franklin Covey Field. 2-2 the count. And Pettijohn on Tuesday. Sung Song, the Korean native, goes for Edmonton against Pettijohn. And Wednesday, Brian Cooper for Fresno. Wilton Chavez for Edmonton. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fastball grounded back to third and past third down the left field line into the corner. Chasing it down Shabala, and Rob Quinlan has now hit safely in all 4 games here in this series. A 1-out double for Rob. 4 hits now for Salt Lake. 1 on, 1 out. Here's the left fielder, Adam Riggs. Right-handed batter, 0 for 2. He is walked, grounded out, and popped out. 7 runs, 14 hits, no errors for Fresno. A run, 4 hits, and an error for the Stingers. And now Riggs up for the 4th time tonight, or today. It's almost tonight here in Utah. Lead at second by Quinlan. And the pitch from Walker. Fastball taken for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 the count. A's going to the 9th, a 4-2 lead over Seattle. Tim Hudson a complete game yesterday. No balls, 1 strike. Walker to the plate, swinging a ground ball to short. Athos up with it, looks Quinlan back to second, and throws wide, and pulls Santos off the bag, and Riggs is safe. Athos had no trouble getting to that ball, but his throw was high. And Santos did try to leave just to keep that ball from sailing to the facing of the first base stands. In charge of throwing there to Jamie Athos. Now still 1 out, runners at first and second, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Alex Polias. Right-handed batter, he has hit less than 3 trips to the plate. Tyler Walker to the plate, and Polias swings on a drive foul right side. No balls, 1 strike. No errors have been a big part of the series for Fresno. Committed 1 last night, 3 on Friday, 2 on Thursday. No balls, 1 strike to count to the San Diego native Polias as Walker comes back and misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lead at second base by Quinlan. Riggs the runner at first. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Walker to the belt. Now he kicks and delivers, and Polias swings in a looper foul right side. 1-2. Well, the Oakland A's got the news that they expected on infielder Mark Ellis, who was injured at the end of spring training, suffering from a right shoulder injury. Now officially done for the year. Had a torn labrum in the shoulder, and will soon undergo surgery. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Walker to the plate. Polias a chopper foul, third base side. Count holds at 1-2. He injured the shoulder when he collided with A's shortstop Bobby Crosby. Initially, it was only supposed to be 2 months. And then a couple days later, they fought for the year, and that became official yesterday. A ball and 2 strikes. Polias a chopper to short. Athos bobbles this one. Flips to the second baseman. Doctor, though, still in time to get Riggs. 2 down. He knew it was on Athos' mind right there. He wanted to turn 2, but bobbled it, and they only get 1. Quinlan goes to third on the fielder's choice. Riggs is forced. 6-4, and Polias now 0 for 4, stands at first with 2 out, and here is the catcher, Wilbert Nieves. It was 0 for 1 with a double and a walk and a run scored. But so far, the A's replacement for Ellis, Marco Scudero, has played well. And so have the A's in general. So here is Nieves with runners at first and third, and Tyler Walker to the plate. A fastball taken low outside. 1 ball, no strikes with the right fielder, Derek Gibson, waiting on deck. Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1, bottom of the 8th inning. Quinlan at third, Polias at first, and Tyler Walker to the belt. Now delivers, and Nieves swings and chops one foul left side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nieves had a chance to see him play in the Midwest League back in 1997. 1 ball, 1 strike. Walker to the plate, and Wilbert swings and misses at a curve. 1-2 the count. But eventually got up to the big leagues with the Padres. Several former Padres on this Salt Lake Ball Club. Nieves, Polias, Jason Middlebrook, who we saw last night. He swings as Nieves and lifts one foul to the right. 1-2 the count. Derek Gibson on deck. The field just about all in sunlight still. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Walker's pitch. Swing to chopper to short. Another chance for Adams. An overhand toss to Doster covering. Gets Polias, and that ends the inning. 6-4 on the force at second base. No runs, a hit, an error, 2 left. On the ninth from Salt Lake. Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1 on KAT 103.1. 1 for CNN News. Community Medical Center is proud to give you all a place to bring your creaks, aches, pains, sprains, and groans. The new state-of-the-art Community Sports Center, conveniently located north Fresno, offers 12,000 square feet dedicated to fitness training and the latest outpatient rehabilitation therapies. Ask your doctor about the place that every body needs, the Community Sports Center.
Looking for a great place to celebrate your birthday or team party? The Wildwood Pool and Spa at Grizzly Stadium is the place to be. Also great for bachelor parties, businesses, and family functions. The Wildwood Pool and Spa can accommodate any group from 25 to 50 people in size. Your pool admission includes a catered poolside meal, a unique way to watch Grizzlies take on the competition. For all the great price of just $30 per person. Summer dates are filling fast, so cool off in the Fresno heat by calling 442-1994 to secure a spot by the pool today.
What's my Subway salad? Well, it's hard for a farmer man to choose. Yes, my goat friend, the new Atkins Friendly Grilled Chicken and Baby Spinach is my favorite, with grilled chicken strips and tasty toppers on a bed of 100% baby spinach. It's Atkins Friendly, so's the classic club salad made fresh under my sniffer. Too bad Atkins ain't for goats. What's your language? My Subway salad, any of the new Subway fresh salads. It's what I eat when I want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
On to the ninth inning from Salt Lake City. Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1. The Greenwald with you on KAT 103.1. The 1. 7 runs, 14 hits, an error for Fresno. 1 run, 4 hits, and an error for the Salt Lake Stingers. And Adam Shabala will lead it off. He'll be followed by David Oster and Craig Kuzmic. 6, 7, and 8 to face the right-hander Matt Hensley, who pitched the scoreless 8th inning. Nobody warming up in either bullpen right now. Shabala 3 for 4, 3 singles, a stolen base, and a run scored. And Matt Hensley to the plate, and Adam Shabala takes that's inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Stingers put on a shift for Shabala. Elias, the third baseman, well back of the bag, well off the line. The infield swung well around to the right. Hensley's 1-0 is taken in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. I remind all of you to stay tuned after the ball game for our Fresno Grizzlies post-game show. I'm sorry, our Fresno Grizzlies post-game show. 2 balls, no strikes to count to Shabala. 7-1 Fresno, and Hensley's pitch, and that is taken for a strike at the knees. 2-1 to count. Mention the Cubs all over the Braves today. 10-2 in Atlanta But Chipper Jones had to leave the game early. 2 balls and a strike, and Adams swings and a ground ball towards second. To his left, Specht throws on the run to get Shabala, who is out, 1 away. And that'll bring up the second baseman, David Doster. Chipper had to leave the game due to a mild strain in his right hamstring, left in the bottom of the 6th. Did a ground ball to shortstop and hobbled his way down the first base line. A lot of people thinking the Braves will not win their division this year. Here is Foster, and he swings and misses at a curve, 0-1 the count. Especially with the Florida Marlins coming off a World Championship season a year ago. Foster 1 for 3 on a fastball taken for a strike on the inside corner, 0-2. The Phillies much improved. I don't think a lot of people are expecting the Mets or Expos to win it, but wouldn't shock me if the Phillies and Marlins did. No balls, 2 strikes, and Hensley comes back. Doster swings and drives one in the air into center field right at Wesson, and moves over a few steps toward right center to make the catch 2 away. And that'll bring up the catcher, Craig Kuzmic. And I never count the Braves out. That is for sure. But the Marlins are still very, very good. A lot of the players they lost were position players, but still have Josh Beckett and Dontrell Willis and Carl Pavano in that rotation. Breaking ball to Kuzmic is taken for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. We talked about Armando Benitez, off to a good start with 5 saves. No balls and a strike. Craig takes strike 2 on the inside corner, 0-2. Kuzmic an RBI single and a run scored in that 4-run fourth. So the Grizzlies did most of their damage this afternoon. A 7-1 lead for Fresno. We're in the top of the 9th inning. And Hensley working quickly comes right back. Kuzmic takes low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Third baseman Polias back of the bag, well off the line. The 1-2 on the way. And Kuzmic swings at a curve in the dirt and misses. And he, for the second time today, is down on strikes. Grizzlies, for the second time today, go 1-2-3. Last chance for Salt Lake. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It is Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1 on KAAT 103.1. The 1.
Baseball season is here, and it's time to book your picnic in the Miller Pavilion at Grizzly Stadium. Watch your Fresno Grizzlies battle the competition in the best stadium in minor league baseball. The Miller Pavilion provides a great environment for your company or church picnic, and your admission includes your seat and a fully catered meal. Prices start as low as $21.50, and availability is limited. So call 442-1994 to speak with a Grizzlies representative today to book your event.
Emergency hotline, can I help you?
Hello? Yes, I need help.
All right, sir, what's the problem?
I can't taste my beer.
Can't taste your beer.
No, it's really freaking me out.
Okay, calm down, sir.
I take a sip, I feel it in my mouth. It's wet, but there's no taste. Nothing.
Okay, sir, listen to me. Sir, stay with me. What's your name?
Robert.
Okay, Robert, this is what I want you to do. Put the bottle down and step away from the beer. Go ahead.
Okay, I did it.
Now I want you to leave the house immediately, walk straight down to the corner store and pick up a 6-pack of Miller Lite. Robert, are you listening?
Yes.
Open one, take a sip, and everything should be right back to normal.
Okay.
Don't worry, Robert. We've seen this problem before. It's going to be all right.
Next time, try to like beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Miller. Good call. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Last chance for the Salt Lake Stingers. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1. Greenwald with you on KAT 103.1. The 1. 7 runs, 14 hits, 1 error for Fresno. 1 run, 4 hits, and 1 error for Salt Lake. And Tyler Walker set for his second inning of relief. He'll face Derek Gibson, Jake Thrower, and Brian Specht, bottom third of the Salt Lake order here on the bottom of the 9th. Grizzlies trying for their first win of the 2004 campaign. Gibson is 0 for 2 with a walk. Right-handed batter. Facing the right-hander and Tyler Walker. Nobody warming up in either bullpen right now, and the Grizzlies would like to keep it that way. As Walker delivers to Gibson, Derek a big swing and a fly ball foul right side. No balls, 1 strike. I had a chance to see Gibson play in 1997 in the Hawaii Winter League when he was coming up through the Rocky system. Hit 3 home runs in one game out in a place called Waipahu, which is Jerome Williams' hometown, the former Grizzly and current Giant pitcher. No balls, 1 strike. Walker to the plate, and Gibson takes strike 2 on the inside corner, 0-2 the count. But this was the big prospect that seemed like everybody was talking about, but never came through in the Rocky system. The 0-2 on the way from Walker, and that is inside for a ball. 1-2 the count. So we'll see Salt Lake again next week. Opening night. Call 559-442-1994 for tickets. And the fireworks after the ball game, sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tyler Walker to the plate, and Gibson swings at a slider in the dirt and misses, and he is out. First strikeout for Walker, 1 down here in the bottom of the 9th inning. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Jake Thrower. Check out Subway's fantastic 7 under 6 lineup. That's right, your greater Fresno area Subway restaurants have 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less. Try the delicious honey mustard turkey with cucumber today. So here is Thrower, and he swings and grounds one to shortstop. Athos to his right, up with it, a long throw, gets Thrower. 2 up, 2 down, and that's Salt Lake down to its last out for the second baseman, Brian Speck. He is 2 for 2. He has singled, doubled, and has driven a home run. He's also walked. 7 runs, 14 hits, an error for Fresno. A run, 4 hits, and an error for Salt Lake. Outfield around to the left side. The third baseman, Gallimore, back of the bag, well off the line. And Tyler Walker to the plate, and a fastball was taken inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Top of the order, now Alfredo Amezago waiting on deck. Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1. Walker to the set, even with nobody on. Now comes home, and Speck swings and misses at a curve in the dirt. 1-1 the count. And about Speck, the Colorado Springs native. Last year, the Grizzlies did not go to Colorado Springs. This year we do. We'll be there in early August. Tell you what, that seems like a long way off. Early August. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Speck looks low, 2-1. So that is one thing about the baseball season, is that it goes very, very quick. I think whether you win or lose, it's the same routine every single day. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. And Walker's pitch, fastball, strike 2 called on the inside corner, 2-2. I'm talking about early August here in early April, and boom, before you know it, we'll be with you from Colorado Springs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tyler Walker set, and his pitch back takes just low, 3-2. The Grizzlies 1 strike away from putting their first win to bed here in 2004. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Walker peering in at the catcher, Kuzmic. Works from the first base side of the rubber. He comes set. And his payoff pitch. Speck swings. The ground ball to second. Doster boots it for a moment. Has time to recover and throws out Speck. And the ball game is over. And the Fresno Grizzlies have their first win of 2004. Walker sets the Stingers down. 1, 2, 3 in the ninth. Final score this afternoon from Salt Lake. Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1. Back in a moment on KAT 103.1, The One. Hey, Ron.
Elephants will stand so proud, giving sing when they hoop out loud. If you don't believe it's true, come on, let's do the thing.
The Kathy Zoo is
cat, giraffe second long, camel riding through the zoo while the hippos sing along.
Bring the kids out to the zoo and see what the zoo brings out in them. A fascination with nature, a natural inquisitiveness, and a real sense of fun and adventure. Discover the Chaffee Zoo, the place the valley's wild about.
Bring your family, come right in. You're always welcome here, my friend. Every word I say is true.
Do the Chaffee Zoo. In Fresno, 1 block east of 99 on Olive Avenue.
Come on, let's do the zoo.
A message from the Fresno Advertising Federation.
Fresno Grizzlies baseball was sponsored by Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. The Fresno Bee since 1922. The Central Valley's leading newspaper. Subway. Eat Fresh. Community Medical Center. Carl's Jr. Yellow Book USA. His Magazine. Supercuts. Human Services Center. And the County of Fresno Used Oil. Now, stay tuned for the Fresno Bee postgame show is coming up next. It's now time for the Fresno Bee postgame show. Since 1922, the Fresno Bee has been Central California's leading newspaper. Now for the recap of the game, here's Doug Greenwald.
Fresno Grizzlies get their first win of 2004, 7-1 here this afternoon. Here are the final totals for the Grizzlies: 7 runs, 14 hits, 1 error, 10 left. Salt Lake, 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error, 8 left. Ryan Jensen is the winning pitcher. He goes to 1-0. The loss to Chris Buchek. He falls to 0-1. Final of the ballgame, 2 hours 43 minutes, played in front of a paid crowd of 4,224. Stay tuned. The Fresno Grizzlies Fresno Bee postgame show is coming up next.
So I go to hang out with my friend Jen the other day, and I get stuck in the lobby of her apartment building because Jen's line is busy and I have no one to buzz me in. So there I am between the 2 glass doors, and I notice, for the first time ever, that there are 2 stacks of Yellow Page directories. Right there in front of the mailboxes is a stack of Yellow Book Yellow Pages and a stack of that other book by the phone company. Yuck. Who wants anything from the phone company? So I started thinking, why are there 2 stacks of Yellow Pages? First I called my friend Kathy and I said, did you know there were 2 kinds of Yellow Pages? And Kathy goes, no, but did you ever see Yellow Book's menus? They've got a ton of restaurants in there. And then I called my mom and I said, did you know there were 2 kinds of Yellow Pages? And my mom goes, no, Candace, but I know Yellow Book has all the businesses I need to redo my home. So I'm thinking, if everyone's so into Yellow Book, how come there are 2 stacks of Yellow Pages? I mean, who needs that other book anyway? Not me.
Smart business owners advertising Yellow Book, not that other book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
The Fresno Grizzlies have a full lineup in store for you opening weekend. On Saturday, 7:05, it'll be Jerome Williams bobblehead night for the first 2,500 fans, sponsored by Mervyn. The weekend is capped on Sunday, a 2:05 matinee. The first 10,000 fans will receive Crazy Paint Fresno Grizzlies magnetic schedule. Tickets are still on sale for all 3 games. Call the Grizzlies front office at 559-442-1994. Grizzlies baseball, there is nothing minor about it.
We welcome you to the Fresno Bee post-game show. The Fresno Grizzlies, winners for the first time this year. Final score, Fresno 7 and Salt Lake 1. Well, it looked good early for Salt Lake, who scored a run in the bottom of the second inning on a 2-out single by second baseman Brian Speck. But Fresno was certainly not going to go down lightly with the possibility of being swept in the opening series of 2004. They came back with a run in the third after singles by Brian Dallimore and Jamie Athis. Todd Linden, the first of history yesterday, came through with an RBI single. Then Fresno broke the game open in the fourth, sending 8 to the plate. Adam Shabala, David Doster, Craig Kuzmic, and Jason Ellison all had singles to start the inning, and then Dallimore at the top of the order walked. Kuzmic and Ellison each had RBI singles, and then Todd Linden, with the bases loaded, had a ground ball toward first. It went as a fielder's choice, with Quinlan throwing to the shortstop, Amezaga covering second base, and then the pitcher, Chris Buchek, went over to cover first. The throw was too late. Linden beat it out. That scored 1 run, and then Buchek looked like he slipped, might have injured his arm, fell to the ground, and seeing that, Ellison hustled around to give the Grizzlies 2 runs on that fielder's choice. Luchek then departed. Fresno did not score in the fourth after that, but added 2 in the sixth on back-to-back RBI doubles for Damon Miner and first baseman Francisco Santos. Noah Lowry only allowed to throw 50 pitches today, went 3 innings, allowed 2 hits and 1 run, which was earned, walking 2 and striking out 1. Ryan Jensen, the Utah native, 4 scoreless innings in middle relief to earn the win, allowing a hit, walking 3 and striking out 1. Tyler Walker, 2 scoreless innings for him. So all in all, a good afternoon for the Fresno Grizzlies. Every Grizzly in the starting lineup had at least a hit today. Adam Shabala had 3 hits. Todd Linden with 3 hits. And want to recap the Cardinals Jr. play of the game. That was an RBI single by Todd Linden to tie the game in the third. Now we'll take a look at the out of 10 scoreboard. The Major League scoreboard looks like this on this Sunday afternoon. The Detroit Tigers, another win today, 6-5 in 10 innings over the Minnesota Twins. Elsewhere, the Yankees salvaged a split with the White Sox 5-4 at Yankee Stadium. Bubba Crosby, his second homer for the New York Yankees. Tampa Bay behind Victor Zambrano, now 3-0, beat Baltimore 10-1. Boston on a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 12th over Toronto 6-4. 2-run homer by David Ortiz, that is, in the bottom of the 12th, beats Toronto 6-4. Kansas City beats Cleveland 5-3. Going to the bottom of the 9th in Texas, Anaheim, the parent club of the Salt Lake Stingers, over Texas 7-2. And Seattle comes back with 2 in the top of the 9th to tie Oakland 4-4 at the Coliseum. In the National League, the Cubs all over Atlanta today, 10-2. Kerry Wood, the winner, beat former Fresno Grizzly Russ Ortiz. Alou, Barrett, Gonzalez, and Patterson all homer for the Cubbies. Pirates a 4-3 winner today at Cincinnati. The Mets a 4-1 winner in Puerto Rico over Montreal. Houston beats Milwaukee by a count of 7-4. Elsewhere, the Florida Marlins, another win today. They beat Philadelphia behind Josh Beckett's first win of the year, 3-1. It's Kevin Mills at 0-2. Armando Benitez now with 5 saves. Damon Easley, his first homer for the Marlins. Miguel Cabrera hit his third. Top of the 9th, Colorado takes a 4-1 lead at Dodger Stadium. It was they're still going in Arizona. St. Louis behind a home run from Albert Pujols, his fourth. St. Louis 5, Arizona 2 in downtown Phoenix, bottom of the 7th. And the Giants go tonight in San Diego. The ESPN game, Brett Tomko for the Giants. His second start, Jake Peavy goes for the Padres. Barry Bonds still trying for Major League home run number 660 to tie Willie Mays for third on the all-time home run list behind Hank Aaron and Babe Ruth. Right here, it was Fresno 7 and Salt Lake 1. When we get back, we will set the scene for tomorrow night in Yuma. We'll do it in a moment on KAT 103.1, The One.
Hey, Grizzly fans, make sure you get the most complete Grizzlies coverage by subscribing daily to the Fresno Bee, and we'll cap it all for the cap. If you are a baseball fan, you won't want to miss the Bee's in-depth stories, columns, and box scores that appear every day in the Bee. In addition to the complete coverage of your hometown AAA team, you will also receive all the top local news, entertainment, and advertisements. Call today to subscribe to the Bee for 3 months. Mention this ad, and we will send you a free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap. Call 411-6233 or 1-800-877-3400 to subscribe and receive your free Fresno Grizzlies baseball cap today.
Churches of the Central Valley, get ready to come together for a night of fun and fellowship as Grizzly Stadium and the Fresno Grizzlies host the 3rd annual Christian Fellowship Night on Friday, May 21st. Grizzly Stadium is the perfect setting to host the churches of the Central Valley as they unify to assist Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Young Life, and Youth for Christ in their outreach efforts to all Valley youth. $3 of every ticket that is pre-sold by church groups for this event will go to benefit those organizations so they can reach every young person with a message of Christ. And that's not all. Before the game, there will be local Christian bands, Absent Stone and Cromwell performing live, and a special on-field check presentation and church recognition. Then the Fresno Grizzlies take the field to battle the Memphis Redbirds. Between innings, fans will get to enjoy the crazy on-field antics of superstars. For more information on how your church can be involved in this big event, contact Brian Merrill at the Grizzlies office, 559-320-2532, or Shane Scott at 559-320-2531. Act now, seating is very limited.
Final score tonight, Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1, as we welcome you back to our Fresno Grizzlies Fresno Bee postgame show. Now it's time to set the scene for tomorrow night. We will be with you from Desert Sun Stadium in Yuma, Arizona. First of a 4-game series will be on the air at 6:50 for the pregame, 7:05 first pitch. Fresno native and Clovis West High School alum Kevin Pickford goes for Fresno. T.J. Tucker gets the call for Edmonton. All games in Yuma will be at 6:50 for the pregame, 7:05 first pitch. Want to thank Ronnie Paul for putting this one together today, and everybody at KAAT 103.1. Well, one, the Fresno Grizzlies front office and our friends at BroadcastMonsters.com for making this broadcast and webcast possible. Fresno Grizzlies get their first win of the year. Final score this afternoon from Salt Lake City, Utah. Fresno 7, Salt Lake 1. We'll talk to you tomorrow night from Yuma. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Fresno Bee postgame show. Join us next time for another exciting edition of Fresno Grizzlies Pacific Coast League Baseball.